Welcome to Reality After Show. I'm Jonny Fairplay. Holy smolies. Has hell frozen over? Calamity Jane is here. Jerri Manthey. I don't know if you caught this. They just finished filming season 49 of Survivor. New season coming out, season 50. Apparently, it's a big deal. They did a cast release, and so are you live from Fiji?
Well, as you can tell right here, this is a Joshua tree. And there are only two places in the whole world that those grow, and it is not in Fiji.
No, Fiji is not the other one. Oh my God. Well, we're joined by Bobby Goodsby, producer here at Reality After Show. Gabe Ortis, star of season 47 of US Survivor. You will not, that is not Fiji behind him either. It's weird. Jerri, what's happening right now?
You'll need to unlock
right now, currently, I am in the middle of the desert processing my feelings. Yesterday, I ate an entire bag of Jelly Bellies. And today, I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm able to talk about things because I wasn't able to talk for a while. I was very angry and very hurt. So I'm here now with my dog, my service dog, Rocky.
If you were in Fiji, you wouldn't be with Rocky.
No, and you know what? Rocky's very happy that I didn't go to Fiji.
Yeah. There's pluses and minuses. So I want to go through this process, but before we get there, have you ever been called for a season before and not been on?
No.
Okay. You're talking to someone that they've done this to twice already. so season 50, I'm like, I don't care. If they call, great. If they don't, their loss. But I processed 2 of these heroes, villains, 8 days before we went out there. They're like, Hatch can't get his passport. The cast that has Hatch has you. The cast that doesn't have Hatch doesn't have you. You're not on. And I'm like, no, it's fine. And Lynn Spillman's like, no. This is the hardest phone call I've ever made. You're not on Heroes, Villains. And I'm like, you're killing me. That one hurt. Season 40 was Rivals. They're just allegedly the first phone call. And then I got a phone call a month later, like, CBS wants to change the theme. Don't worry, Jeff's fighting for you. And then I get the call, you're not on. I'm like, okay. Ooh, that one hurt. 50, as I said, I just resigned myself. I'm like, these guys are fucktards. They do not care about it. I'm like, I cannot get emotionally invested. So if they call, great. If not, their fucking loss. NBC has my number, and you'll find out this fall, Fox has my fucking number. We're good. But this is your first fuck you. You're on. It's all good. Change all your plans. Change your life for 3 months.
Yep, it was brutal. But there were some people I know that were held out to the very, very end and are just even more devastated.
Yeah.
I think they really need to start looking at how they leave people hanging and the emotional distress it causes, because it upsets your whole life. Like, people have jobs and families and, lives, and it's not okay to leave people hanging till like the day before everybody leaves. That's the part I don't appreciate. And I
don't get. I mean, it's, how about hey, are you interested? Yes. Hey, we're considering you. Okay. Can we lock this in? Not quite. I think a not quite works a lot better than you're on. And it's like, okay, I'm on. And then, oh, wait, you're not. Because did you get a you're on?
No. No, they weren't telling anybody they were on.
Well, see, no, they were telling people. They called people in October and said, you're on.
Who?
Jesse Lopez.
Well, look how that went.
Exactly.
Because he ain't on.
I mean,
He
but
ain't on.
they literally said you're on. It wasn't you maybe kind of sorta. It's you're on.
Yeah, no, for me it was, put that month aside, going through the psychological tests, which by the way, we've already done those so many times at this point. Either I'm certifiably crazy and you like it or you don't.
I feel we all know you're certifiably crazy, Jerry. That's why we want to watch you on TV. It's the ones that aren't that make boring TV. They finish the final 3 on the season.
Yeah, it's just sad how many people are suffering right now. And I've been reaching out to a lot of people. People have been calling me, and as much as we are helping each other through this process, it still hurts. It's very personal. Like that's what seems to be missing. Like they don't understand how personal this is.
It's a very shitty, as I said, like I've done other shows where they're like, I don't know. A, you hear back a lot sooner. And B, it's yes, no, or maybe, but maybe means also make other plans. Survivor's like, no, you need to hold your life.
Yeah. I mean, in the past, even then they didn't want to say for sure because they knew people would try to make alliances. And I've been very clear. I don't do pre-game alliances.
No. It doesn't work for players like us.
No, it doesn't work because you don't know who you're going to end up with or what the situation's going to be. And if you make an alliance with somebody and you have to betray them and the day you're out there, like it's just setting yourself up in a bad situation. So I've never been one of those people, but people did call me and I was like, no, don't try to force it.
Well,
no.
People have preconceived notions about players like myself and you. And it's just like, oh, Jerry's this, Johnny's this. And it's just like, dude, we get out there, you're going to love me or hate me. Let's figure it out there. I feel like that's a much better, because like, Jerry, you had when we first met, we did Armageddon Expo, New Zealand's version of Comic-Con, 80,000 people, and you're just like, I will not sit beside Jonny Fairplay. I do not like Jonny Fairplay. Jonny Fairplay is the worst human being ever. Keep us, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, all right, well, fine. Day 2, you're like, can you move me beside Jonny Fairplay because he's my new best friend?
that was a wild trip for sure.
But did you expect that, Jerri Manthey? No,
I definitely didn't. Rocky,
and I didn't expect to love you, and I love you, Jerry. I think you're an awesome human being. So you're one of my favorite people, and I'm so glad that it took one day in New Zealand for you to figure that out. So, but by the same token, if you're you. And they're like, hey, I saw Jerri Manthey on TV. And you explained at the All-Star, the America's Tribal Council, what you see is not exactly us. So
are you talking about the All-Stars when I got booed?
Well, no, after the following the 2 nights later at the America's Tribal Council.
I don't even remember. I think
you followed up there. And it's like we're not like, this is a TV show, folks.
Oh yeah. Well, I was trying to tell everyone, like, look, we're human beings. We have feelings and like all this Rocky steak. Oh, hang on. I gotta make sure my dog doesn't get eaten by a coyote. She's a cute little snack. Yeah.
Well, hey, I'm right here, Jerry. Please stop.
I was trying to make a point, right? That we're human beings with feelings, and all this harsh judgment on us by the public was very hurtful.
But by the same token, you were a very amazing television villain. So let's not.
Thank you.
Yes.
But I mean, here's the conversation I've had a lot lately is what exactly was it that I did that was so villainous? Like, let's identify something other than just speaking my mind.
You were an empowered woman in 2002.
I was about to say, yeah, speaking your mind might have been enough at that time to get that villain label.
Yeah. So The world has changed. You're now a good guy, and you've ruined everything about you that was a villain. So it's fine. It's okay. Guess what? I'm a pretty cool dad with a smoke show fiance. I'm not too bad either. I get it. But you are by definition a true hero right now.
Yeah, somehow, right? It kind of flipped a switch, and
yeah. But I don't think we're done with that story, Jerry. Do you?
No, fuck no. Pardon my French.
No, it's fine. It's the Jonny Fairplay podcast. It's
a very good point. No, so this was something that was very unsettling for me during the interview process with Jeff and Matt Wagner. They were so adamant about how grateful I should be that I had a 3-season character arc, and they made it sound like that was the end of my story. But to me, the best stories are when you see people go full circle, right? And
so you're a villain again?
I told them, I said, look, I figured out how to win this game, and I think maybe they didn't want me to win. So here I am.
Was that the you should feel grateful you had a 3-season arc? Was that what they told you when they told you weren't going to be on, or was that during the casting process when you thought you still had a shot?
That was during the casting process, and
so,
it really I am grateful that I had a 3-season character arc, but nobody designed that. I did that myself.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the end. It's not the end. How many people have gone back 5-6 times to win because they wanted them to win so bad? No names but Rob. I'm like, that's what happens when you're a man on that show. You get supported and you are loved so much that people want you to win so bad. They just keep bringing you back.
Wow. If they had said we got the Jonny Fairplay story in 2, your arc is over and we don't get if my fiance were in the room, she'd grab the phone and say, "Go fuck yourselves," and hang and just like, do not pick up the phone when these assholes call you back. Because Jerri Manthey, you are more than a 3-season arc. You are. I know too. Well, and the fact that they don't get that, they're insane. And if I'm doing fake reality television, Jerri Manthey, if I'm booking this like wrestling, I am the Boca Raton cruiserweight champion of the world, and but it's someone that knows how stuff is scripted. If I'm scripting season 50, a Jerri Manthey win is a pretty cool storyline to an ending of this tale.
Agreed. I guess we'll never know.
If I'm placing idols underneath where some people sleep,
yeah,
I'm going to put one under Jerri Manthey's curls.
It could get lost in there.
You're preaching to the choir here.
I was about to say, yeah.
We do have similar hair. This is what I think is going to happen. Mike White wins. Nobody's going to vote him off because they're all secretly hoping they get cast on White Lotus.
Yeah.
Myself included. I would have done the same thing.
Well, Jerri Manthey, we are in very different boats here, because if I were out there with Mike White, I would lead a campaign to get rid of him, because I have zero desire to be in Emoji Movie 2.
Emoji Movie?
He did the Emoji Movie, the number one most universally panned movie in the history of movies on Rotten Tomatoes.
Aw.
Jerri Manthey.
I love Jerri
Manthey. Question. Do you love emojis?
Who doesn't love emojis?
Exactly. So you're going to make a fucking movie about emojis. Make it fucking good, dickhead. Fuck him. I don't want to be in Emoji Movie 2. My daughter's 8 and hates Emoji Movie.
I can't. I have no opinion. I never saw it, but I do love White Lotus. Let me tell you, that show is fucking
So you'd suck the
brilliant.
teat on that one? You're like, all right, I'm all in. Mike White wins?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, my God.
No.
This is going to be the worst season ever.
No, he would.
You're killing
I
Johnny
would,
right now.
yeah, I wouldn't let him win if I was playing, but I would definitely let him know that I.
He's the
could.
first person I'm sending home. Gabe, are you sending home Mike White first or no? You're
For
second
that
person.
reason, I think you have to. I think you have to. I think you have to be like, he can't stay because of that reason.
No, you just wait. You just wait.
I
That's not
know.
gonna
I think you're
happen.
right.
Yeah.
And you
And
said you would co-sign this. I like all hope is lost. If Jonny Fairplay is like, no, and Gabe Ortis is like, no, they're like, okay, well, I respect that. And there's like, oh, Jerri Manthey's like, no, I'm all in. They're like, well, fuck, I guess I'm all in too. I'm like, there we go.
We
There
needed
goes
you.
Gabe.
We needed
There
you
goes-
for the contingent against Mike White. If you're not standing with us, nobody will.
What still doesn't make sense is how do you have 3 sets of 3 people from 3 different seasons, but not have Jerri from season 2, where you had the most viewership ever, but you bring back multiple people from 3 different seasons? Where are we going with this?
The math doesn't math, Jerry.
I know.
And I just think that that's something that like a lot of people aren't really giving a lot of credit to, is that like, other than the hands of the fans, what is the theme of this season? It feels like a gabagool of just a bunch of different random people, like a Jackson Pollock just splattered across on the screen. And it's like, okay, like I get that, but like, you know, Lex was telling us earlier, they could have done like a proper new school versus old school thing. They could have done, you know, one from each decade, one from each set of 10 seasons, like something like that. And it kind of feels like they thought their way into a bit of a mess here, you know?
Yeah.
I told Jeff, I said, you know what would be epic is if you had one person from every season.
Yeah.
And he was
just
like,
do it-
he was like,
do a
that's too many
big-
people. We don't have enough time. I'm like, well, that's half of the producer's battle is figuring out how to make that work. That was
you do a challenge right out of the gate that like you're in it's
20 people gone first episode.
It's like Mr.
Whatever.
Beast competition.
Yeah, right.
There's a way to do it.
Yeah. I think that would have been a true season 50 celebration.
He did not understand the assignment, Jerry.
That's
Look
what
at
I-
Australian Survivor.
Yeah.
Will you do Australian
has, like, 20
Survivor?
people.
I don't know. You know, I still haven't watched it. I heard it's pretty epic.
I haven't
I'll
watched
send,
it either,
I'll send you
Jerry.
links after this. You're
Yeah.
watching. You're gonna
I-
like it.
It's gotten better than the US version at this point.
It's
Well-
like old school Survivor. You
So
would love it.
here's my biggest critique of the new era. First of all, I hate that it's the same challenges every single week. I hate that every single week they make people dive into mud first and then wood chips afterwards multiple times. Getting the whole mud thing drives me absolutely insane. And I think personally it's because it's only 26 days long and they have to get people as dirty as they possibly
They want the
can on
visual.
first day.
Yeah.
So
They
their
want the
clothes
visual.
don't look clean the entire time. And
Yeah.
I just think the mud
because they're literally in Burbank for 7 days. So- Shout out to
Mud thing?
my good friend Saria in Burbank right now.
yeah, the mud thing is just, it's too much. Oh
Dude,
my
they're
god.
right beside the old Big Brother house. It's
The
amazing.
sun is setting.
Oh,
It's beautiful.
Gary, they should have come there. You should have loaned them the land, and maybe they would have put you on.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. She's gonna turn the camera around, and the whole cast is gonna be there. It's actually gonna be in Joshua Tree.
Where's Carolyn? Is Carolyn really there? Tell me Carolyn's there too.
Man, I know she's upset too. She was a really fun person to watch. I think she
Yeah.
would have been a great choice.
Have you met Carolyn?
I have not met her in person yet, but we're doing a cruise together in July.
But
And I'm really excited to meet her in person.
Jerri Manthey, television right now. Jerri Manthey, conversation with Carolyn. This is this is less understandable than Tom Sandoval talking to himself or Carolyn. This is good fucking TV. And like, Jerri Manthey, I love you, but you are a like you are not the Jerri Manthey that we first that I fell in love with in Australia.
I've gotten older and wiser.
You are a spirit. You are a fluttering fairy. You are very different than when we were first introduced to you. I don't know if I love you more or less. Who's to say?
Fuck you if you don't like me anymore.
There's that.
I'm still the same person. Don't let your guard.
But you are a fluttering fairy of goodness, and
I'm a good person. That's why that
well,
whole thing was
you with
so
your
hard.
crystals, you with your crystals and your fluttering, and Carolyn with her fluttering and fluttering. I think is a conversation that I want to watch weekly on my television. That's fucking TV gold. I mean, you're both nuts, Jerry.
No.
Yeah, in a good way. In a good way.
In a very different way. In a very different way. Those
Very
two.
different way.
Yes. I love you, Jerri Manthey, and I love Carolyn. And just imagine that TV gold. That why are we not Kyle and Camilla talked a lot last season. I saw it. Why do I need to see that? Why can't I see Jerri Manthey talk to Carolyn about seashells and crystals?
I would have definitely listened.
You would have had counterpoints. Oh, but this crystal means this, and this seashell is seashelly. Yes. No, you guys are nuts. I love it. You guys warm my heart.
You have a very strange idea of what I'm up to nowadays.
She's doing snow angels and crystals in Joshua Tree with Rocky.
Overalls.
I know. And you do crystals and rocks. You literally went to the gas station to get gas to power the generator to do this podcast.
I had to get gas. I have a generator. Yes.
Okay.
You use Starlink.
I also had to go get some supplies and groceries and drinks.
Yes. Jerri Manthey lives in Ukraine. She is not purposely paying for Starlink. She does not support the idea.
I'm living in my trailer.
Oh,
wow.
Is that David from last season's trailer? Did he move?
Yeah, from his dad's front yard to Joshua Tree with Jerry.
Wow.
Are you nursing from his 4 teats?
I met David recently.
Oh, what did you think?
He's hot. He's really hot, and you know what? He looks like Ethan. Think about
on
that.
steroids.
He looks like Ethan. Yeah, with like big guns. Like I was
Yeah.
his arms. I'm like, and here's the thing about David. I went up to him and I go, "Hi," and he looks at me like, "Who the fuck are you?" And he's like,
"Yeah, he's an
what?"
asshole.
I said, really?" I was like, "Really, dude?" And then he goes, "Are you a contestant from Survivor?"
Oh my god.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
A single episode. He knew nothing about Survivor at all whatsoever. I thought that was so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That seems like someone you would date. Someone that is like, hey, have you watched Survivor? No. Perfect.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't date Dave?
The way that he applied to be on the show at first was he sent an email to Jeff Probst at CBS.com. And he said, I would like to be on Survivor. What is the next step? And then obviously he got an email that said this email does not exist. And then like he went through the actual process, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know any of it. He emailed Jeff personally to a fake email. That's how he applied to be on the show.
I will just check the show notes. I'll give everyone's Jeff's personal email.
Yeah. and then
got it?
partway through the process, he learned about the challenge and he asked the casting producers if he could switch to go and be on the challenge. And they were like, we're flying you out to LA. No, you can't switch. Like, what do you mean?
He'd be so good on the challenge.
And he'd be great at it. Yeah, he'd be awesome at it.
He'd be much better than Survivor.
I liked him on Survivor. I was a David fan.
Yeah, I did too until he turned into Rob 2.0. I was like, oh no, clearly you didn't watch the show because
clearly
that gameplay does not work anymore.
No. What did you see? Did you see the video with Carolyn and Ozzy taking a picture with from the statue and David walked up?
No.
Oh, so we're at Ron Clark Academy, and Carolyn and Ozzy are taking a picture in front of the big staircase. It's kind of a big deal there at the Ron Clark Academy. And he goes, move it out of the way, your has-beens. I'm trying to take a picture. And Carolyn, she's like, listen here, you weirdo with 4 nipples. Get out of here. You're a loser. To which she ends the video now. I literally walk up right by Kelly. I'm like, listen here. No one will know your fucking name in 3 weeks. I promise you.
You said
To
that
David?
Yes.
Wow.
So
Harsh,
Liz
man,
here,
harsh.
like me, Ozzy, and Carolyn is just like, dude, make fucking statues, bitch. Sorry, they're not making a 4 nipple statue.
You know what? That I think that was my favorite episode of that season when they were all talking about their jacked up toes and his 4 nipples and Kyle's wart. I was like, that was amazing.
Well, Jerry, you deserve better than David, and that's the perfect segue. We deserve better than season 50. Possibly, we're going to talk them out. Bobby Goodsby. Can we roll through these rather quickly? We got Joe, season 48. Now, Jerri Manthey. I will give my opinion first because I don't want to steer yours, but I don't want to. You might be thinking very similarly, and I don't want to ride on each other's coattails. So let me just get this out. I feel there were 4 people that had a chokehold on the snooze fest. That is season 48, and that is Joe, Eva, Kyle, and Camilla. And I think it would have been immensely better if they had properly shown that Joe and Eva were merely goats and nothing more. They were the Rupert Bonhams of that season. And you know what I'm talking about?
There's no personal vendetta in there at all.
No,
right?
Jerry knows.
Nothing personal.
Rupert is a goat. Rupert's not good at this game, and you can carry him to the end.
Doesn't GOAT mean greatest of all time?
It also means you
And
suck.
everything but
It also means
Survivor.
the worst.
It's the one place where it doesn't mean that.
Yeah, you don't want to be the goat in Survivor, Jerry. So yeah, so Rupert's a goat.
Maybe that's why Jerry didn't get cash. He kept saying, "If you give me this shot, I will be the goat." And they were like, "We don't want that."
No, we want you to do good, Jerry.
Guys, I think Jerry's checked out of this.
Ever.
I think Jerry's telling us she doesn't want to be on. She keeps saying she's going to be a goat. I said I was going to be the greatest of all time, and they didn't listen to me.
Yeah, no, they didn't think you wanted to play, Jerry. Like she's going to fucking phone it in, fucking fair play it on season 2.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's what happened. All right. So anyway, these 4 people had a chokehold that made it a snooze fest. They did whatever. But 3 of the 4 are back. And first up is Joe. He's the fireman from season 48. He didn't have a secret profession. He was just a fireman, and still just a fireman. I still think he's coming in with the exact same game he did last time: honor, loyalty, respect. He's John Cena from 2008, and that guy sucked. So where you at with Joe, Jerri Manthey?
I think if Joe teams up with Coach, the 2 of them could ride the holier than thou good person ride. Honestly.
Alliance of 2.
Because they're both very big into the honesty and respect.
Yes. But who's joining that alliance, Jerry?
I love Coach. I love him.
I do too. And I would have loved you to have been out there to help Coach. But who else is riding that lightning?
Riding the lightning.
Yeah, the lightning of Joe and Coach. Who's riding that train? Well, I don't think anyone's jumping on that train.
This season is honestly so stacked for a dude to win. It's so ridiculously obvious.
Why do you say that?
Well,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just curious.
Super strong men, like all of them. They're all like big, beefy, And we saw what happened the last time when you do that. They all.
That's Jeff's wet dream. He loves that.
I know.
Why can't you grow a dick and big arms, Jerry?
You also could have said that in casting. You could have said. I have been in the gym. I am working on a surgery.
I'm not gonna be the goat.
If you and David had a kid together, that kid would be the winner of Survivor 100.
Yeah,
Just
there
saying.
you go.
Would you like to procreate with David?
Who wouldn't?
Oh,
Come on. Don't single
Gabe?
me out.
Gabe, question for you. Would you like to procreate with David?
Which one of us would get pregnant? Would I have to carry the child to term, or would he do it?
Yes. Oh, no. David would, because he's nursing him with his 4 nipples.
Well, there you go.
You're having
Oh my
quadruplets.
God.
Two
All
are
right,
from.
we need to move this along.
Yeah.
We got 24
Okay,
people
all right,
to
next,
talk
next,
about.
next.
We're burning sunlight in
Okay,
Joshua's
so
tree.
Joe,
it's gonna be dark.
what do we think? Joe, thumbs up or thumbs down, Jerry?
I like Joe. I'm
Okay,
curious
great.
to see what he's going to do. Although I don't know if I'm going to watch this season. I'll be honest.
Okay, fair enough. I understand that. I will be, because I'll be doing viewing parties and doing podcasts. All right, next.
Because
I'll
Johnny
go with
needs
you.
that money.
Yes, I need that money that I didn't get from 50 because I'm so upset. Camilla, we just saw Camilla. She was a part of the 4-person strong chokehold on this season. I like Camilla. If I was bringing back anyone from this season, it would be her.
She's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved her on the season.
I
but
think
you're
I
pro-
think she's great, and I think that she's somebody who will. I think she's the only person who will legitimately benefit from being on this season versus being on 48, because she talks so much about how, like, I wanted to scheme and I wanted to lie and I wanted to backstab, but the people around me weren't doing that. So if I wanted to make it to the end, I couldn't do that. And she's going to be in an environment now where she can be the player she wanted to be.
or she's an easy first boot because it's like all this girl does is lie.
Well, maybe.
And it's revisionist history, sitting there going, hey, this is the only liar I know. It's Camilla.
I like Camilla.
I love her.
She's
I
the
hope she
only
does good.
person. She's the only person from 48 that should have been on this cast. And I think she's going in with excellent chances because she didn't win. She got far, but no one's seeing her as a threat. So I think that she can easily get, as long as she gets through the pre-jury phase, I think it's, she can run scot-free with it.
And Joe sucks. So
Well, if anybody doesn't see her as a threat, they're being stupid.
well,
Also
there
true.
are stupid people on this season. We're gonna get there.
Just because of how many other in-your-face
What-
threats there are in this season.
One of them
that
was
there's
Joe.
dominating.
We just saw one stupid person on the show. So, I mean, we're one in. And you're like, how many stupid people are there? Well, we're one in and we got one, Jerry. All right, keep going.
All right. Burning daylight. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's so
Kyle,
beautiful
he
right now.
won. That's
It is.
bullshit. Get off my TV.
I love Kyle.
But
Yeah.
don't be on
but
50.
again, there should be no winners on this season.
No.
I agree with that. Yeah.
But I do love Kyle.
If there is a winner on there and it's not Vesepia, you did not understand the assignment, Jeff Probst. Vesepia was the only winner we needed, and give me one more winner so she can counterbalance it and form an attack. We're good.
And we just saw him. Why do we need to see him again?
We saw him have a very full game and a very full edit.
Yes.
I agree.
All right, next.
We got Timu Wendell. It was great. All right, Genevieve. Hey, guess
I
what?
loved-
She smiles.
Yep, I love Genevieve. She's very
She,
smart.
I am hoping Genevieve wins. My opinion of this season is Genevieve go kill them all. That's my only real take. Is I want Genevieve to go out there and burn the island down, win $1 million, rep our season good. And I think she's one of the new era people that no matter who you ask, they should be saying she deserves it.
She's amazing. Yeah, 100%.
Bobby.
I just think Genevieve's in probably the best spot of anyone because her game wasn't on the forefront of going into 50. And I think she kind of got lost in the hype of season 47 being so good and so many personalities that even though she was great on that season, I don't think she has as big of a target as other people will.
And also, she's not going in with any other fellow new era people from her cast. She's the only 47. The
She's
48
available for
people are
hire.
going to be targeted just because they exist together. The 45 people are going to be targeted. The 46 people are going to be targeted just because they exist together. Genevieve is going to be somebody that folks want to scoop up from the new era, not take out.
I think Genevieve is Danny Boatwright. I think people do not know Genevieve's game because we have not seen Genevieve's game, whether she purposely did not give them their game. And I've had conversations with Genevieve in which she did express that. She was just like, hey, I'm a lawyer. I'm doing this for fun. I will never do this again. I don't need this to ruin my life. So I gave them as little as possible early on. And I'm like, wow. So there is not a lot of ammunition to work against Genevieve. All I know about Genevieve really is she has a beautiful smile, and I would be captivated by her smile every time I talk to her. And I think that's huge. And B, I think she's a masterful strategist that I really only know the tip of the iceberg of her game. I should be fearful, but I'm willing to work with you because I think there's something there. I think the idea of me and Jonny Fairplay and Genevieve or who's a bad guy out, like name some bad guys that want to work with a creative, strong female person. This is the number one person you're going to like Genevieve and Sari as a mastermind deal. You're fucked.
Kill them all.
Yeah, kill them all.
Kill them all, Genevieve.
Yeah.
Sari
All
is
right,
dangerous.
Q. I'm not a big Q fan. Said it before, say it now. They have a hard on him for this show, so if they do, I get the casting.
It's because he was entertaining. He was very entertaining.
We have a different definition of the word entertaining, Jerri Manthey. Gabe, do you like the Q skirt?
No, I do not like the Q skirt.
Oh,
it is the dumbest thing ever. He's just tying a hoodie around his waist. He I've met him before. We get along fine. He's a cool dude. It's been years, bro. You're still showing up to events with the Q skirt on. It's time to let that die.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Q brings nothing to the table for me. I mean, I get that he's like the entertainment factor, and I understand that there are a lot of people that like him. I just don't think he does anything for me that's going to further the game of 50. Did I need him there? No. New era all-stars kind of season? Sure. Have him on that. 50,
I get it.
This wasn't the one.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, I'm curious, Jerri, as a viewer of the show and also as a player too. Do you enjoy having these like chaotic people that maybe aren't necessarily strategists, but do shake up the trajectory of the game just because of how wacky they are? Like, do you think that has a place on Survivor or this season?
Do you guys remember Philip Shepard?
Of course.
Yeah, I don't love Philip Shepard.
Love him too.
Yeah, there we go.
Jerri
and I might not work together.
Some interesting people that keep you entertained every week. Otherwise, it's just pure strategy and backstabbing and blah blah blah, boring.
You don't like that.
But
As I said, you're
like
a spirit now, Jerri. You're just a free-flowing spirit, and you can't be contained. It's like, oh, let's talk strategy. It's like, what is strategy? What is life if you really think about it?
Johnny thinks that Jerri is doing ayahuasca in Joshua Tree with her dog and talking to cactuses.
Oh, there's Aaron Rodgers behind her.
I think Jerry's working out there. That's what I think's happening. I think Jerri goes to bed every day exhausted.
Yeah, I think so too.
And not because of drugs.
No. Honestly, I'm working because I have a generator. I'm working on a lot of spreadsheets. I'm I produce a huge camp at Burning Man now. So I'm taking this time to do the things I enjoy doing out in the silence.
Awesome.
That does not bode well for the argument I just made for you, Jerri. You're doing a Burning Man project.
Hey, Gabe, she's the goat.
I am not doing ayahuasca. That doesn't sound fun to me.
Gotcha.
All right. Next. Charlie. Oh my God. All right. I am not a fan of Taylor Swift. And as a result, I am not a fan of this guy.
Because of Taylor Swift?
Yes. Do you know who he is? He's a Taylor Swift guy. That's literally his gimmick.
No, I think he. I
don't
even remember.
Jerri our goat. I don't know how they mean that, Jerri.
I do. I like Charlie. I think again, he was an entertaining person. I thought that it was really funny that he was always obsessed with Taylor Swift. It was a fun little part of that season. We need more fun. That's
Jerri. The fact that you're co-signing all of this shit and they did not bring you out there, they are fucking morons.
Well,
do not bring Johnny. Like, if you want Jonny Fairplay to co-sign this bullshit, I'm burning the fucking place down. I'm starting with whatever fucking statues or whatever assholes you have fucking built. I'm fucking torching that shit first, and let's fucking go. So this motherfucker,
keep
stop.
Smoking it, dude.
Oh,
Next.
God. Charlie sucks. Gabe, where you at on Charlie?
Honestly, I'll be honest with you.
Oh.
I don't even want to talk about season 50. So this is the fact that I'm still on this camera is pretty.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
It's got to be a little therapeutic, right?
No, it's not. Honestly, I just wanted to share my feelings and then peace out.
Jerry, I told him that.
You.
I told him that, Jerry. I told him that.
Yeah.
But
soon. I can't be excited for anybody at this point, other than Coach, because I am actually pretty close with him in real life, and I really like him a lot, and I'm rooting for him, that for sure. So there you go.
So I do kind of want to get back to your piece of this whole puzzle here, because you must have felt pretty confident throughout a lot of this process, right?
That I was on? That
you were going to be on. Were you? So there was never any moment of you were like, we'll see. I don't know. You felt good about it.
100%. Yeah. What it was pitched to me as was, season 50 is celebration of all 50 seasons, and 100% I belong in that theme. So. And
if you don't want to get too deep into this, that's fine. But when you got the word that you weren't going to be on, was it Jeff that told you? Was it somebody else? And how did they go about it?
I called casting and I said, hey, you guys, I've got a really big opportunity that I need to know what the deal is. Am I going or am I not? I can't stand around waiting. I've got my life to live. And then they said, well, we were going to call people today, and no, you're not on it.
Wow.
Yeah. So at first I was just trying to be nice, grateful Jerry, oh gosh, I guess it didn't work out this time. But then when I got off the phone, it's it just hit me like a ton of bricks, and I was no longer grateful. I was pissed. I called Lex. Lex and I had a very long talk. I love Lex too.
Me too.
It's very disappointing. It's a celebration. Well, it's supposed to be, but judging by this cast, that's actually not what it is. So in some ways, I'm a little relieved.
And so, I'm sorry if this is kind of an obvious question, but what was it that made you angry? Was it the fact that you got cut so late? Was it the fact that you got cut in general? Was it that you were led to believe things that weren't true? Where did a lot of the frustration come from for you?
Well, the fact that this show has been a part of my life for 25 years. That's almost half of my life. I have gone to the events. I have supported the players. I have reached out on Instagram when people are struggling. I have been a part of the Survivor community for 25 years. And I've also put up with a lot of bullshit. People judging me harshly and calling me names and yelling at me in traffic and calling me a bitch when I'm not. I've been dealing with a lot of shit, so it's very triggering to be told that this season is a celebration of 50 years and then hear that I'm not on it. It was a blatant punch in the stomach, and to me, it felt totally disrespectful for the time and effort and love that I have put into this franchise. And I feel like I deserve something back for once. I've gotten no support.
And this would have been one of those things that would have been repaying you for that, you feel?
100%. Yeah, it definitely would have been a thank you. Here's your fourth time out to try to win like other people we kept bringing out until they won. It would have been just an acknowledgement of the last 25 years of my life.
And that was going to be my next question, is that it's something about this 50 and the way that they're framing it. It's not like it's 52 and they're doing a returnee season and we'll bring Jerri back. It's something that it's a moment in time that they're in right now. And I mean, it sounds like what you're saying is that being part of that moment of time would have validated and made all the bullshit you went through worth it, because it's this is what I went through it for, to have this legacy and to be a pillar of this community. And do you feel like that was taken away from you?
100%. It was taken away from me. And it's also, I think, an even bigger stab in the face that Colby is there. And
Why?
I'm not. Because Colby, I've played with him 3 times. The last 2 times, I took him out. Because the first time I was young and dumb and I fell for his flirtations. And now when I'm older and I don't fall for that shit anymore. And the fact that he's out there being celebrated and appreciated, you know, for putting in the same amount of time I did without ever watching a single season, without ever going to a single event. He did not support the community on any way whatsoever, ever. And he treated all of us like we were less than him. So that is also another thing that like sent me through the roof when I found that out. And I, you know, it's just, misogyny is real. It is. And I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it. As a woman now in her 50s, it stings even more because I know that if I was a man, this would be different. I've said this since season 2. If I had been a man on season 2 and did the same things I did as a woman, I would have been the hero of the Australian survivor instead of the bitch. So my whole life was taken away from me on some level or another. My career was actually starting to escalate as an actress in LA. I was starting to get some really cool roles. Like the last thing I did was with Gary Sinise and Tony Shalhoub and Paul Sorvino and Vincent D'Onofrio. And they were all like, why are you not working more? What's going on? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm doing it now with you guys. And then I did Survivor, and they turned me into a horrible person who nobody wanted to work with. And that is what broke me. It broke me. And I never let it show. I've pushed through it. I tried to be, you know, keep a happy face and make the best out of everything. And I'm now, at my age now, I'm like, no, that was bullshit. That was absolute bullshit. There are so many ways other TV shows support their people, right? There's people that do reality shows that become like the center
like NBC Universal.
Yeah, they see the value of somebody who brings something unique to the table and has an effect on a nation of people, and they support that person and they help elevate their careers and give them opportunities. I never got that. So I'm now at this point in my life, I'm tired of taking the shit. I'm tired of being quiet about it. And I'm tired of pretending like it doesn't hurt. It fucking hurts. And it's been hurting for 25 years. So this was just like the icing on the cake for me of frustration and anger. And I'm definitely processing that right now the best I possibly can. I think I'm doing a damn good job, but you know, I'm up here in a beautiful place trying to, you know, center myself. But I have moments out here where I'm yelling into the mountains like, fuck you!
Jerri, I think there's a lot of attention on you right now, and all for the right reasons. But you were a villain at one point. What about
I never did anything villainous. I did 3 seasons.
Okay,
I never lied. I never lied.
Great. Okay, listen, you don't have to be a villain, but what about Traitors? Is Traitors the show for Jerri Manthey? Because right now the spotlight is on you.
I would love to do Traitors. I would absolutely love to do Traitors.
Would you want to be a traitor or no? Or a faithful?
I used to always think, yeah, I'd want to be a traitor.
Now I feel like you're a faithful kind of girl.
I think it's harder to win as a faithful, which I find very intriguing. But I have to say, there's something about seeing somebody. This is why the show is interesting, when they pull people in to be traitors who are actually not the type of person who's deceptive and conniving. To watch them struggle, there's like this moral struggle that happens, and that is what makes that show fascinating.
Yeah, that's new Jerri.
And every once in a while, you get some people who are in that position, and then they find that within them, and they didn't know it was there until it had to be pulled out of them.
It like Jerri Manthey.
Well, there you go. Yeah, maybe Jerri will find that within her. And you know, something that you've mentioned a couple times is like the person you are now, and how different, you know, you were now than you were when you first started out. I feel like folks like you in this community and some of those folks are getting that opportunity, like Colby, like you said. I think Suri has kind of already gotten that a couple times, to like show the world like, hey, you have this idea of me when I was in my 20s, but like, what about me now? What about the person that I am now? And I feel like personally, you deserve to have the right to show everybody who you are now. Do you feel like that was taken away from you?
Yeah, I do. In the world of Survivor, yes. And that should have been the place where that happened because of the 25 years I've put in to supporting this franchise.
Yeah.
100%. Like, it could happen somewhere else. I could get on some other show or do some other thing that gives me the opportunity. But this was the place that I've kind of considered like this weird dysfunctional home.
Sure.
And I've just been taken, that home has been taken away from me. And that's not okay.
Yeah.
It's very personal. And
Jeff and Cassie are not a part of this community that we have outside of them. And they don't get it. Like House of Villains, like, I did the finale party and like productions like, hey, can we come? Camera guys, sound guy, like, hey, can we come? Like, yeah, like, like, cool, it's a party. Like, I feel like Survivors, like, they're like, oh, we're done with them. And you're just like, dude, you can come hang out. Like Joel McHale came and hung out. The Joe guy from Dealer and Deal Island, he hangs out at their part. Like, it's fun. Like you don't have to be the separate thing. It's like, oh, we're done with it. It's like, dude, you don't understand what happened here has been beautiful. Like, me and Jerri Manthey became friends. That is a crazy universe that me and Jerri Manthey became friends. Me and Gabe are friends.
Yeah.
It is this whole, like, we just did the roast of Matt Bischoff right before this podcast. We had War Dog, Brett LaBelle, who else? Lex Vandenberg, and they're all shitting on Matt. It was it was his farewell to podcast. It was amazing. It was a beautiful moment. Tears in my eyes.
Yeah,
things. It was wonderful. But that's this community that they gave us, and they're on this outside bubble. They were just like, oh, well, we can pick this person, this person, this person. I'm like, do you understand what this person did? Like, fans versus Matt Bischoff was on Fans versus Favorites 2. Two of the guys, everyone's just like, oh my God, why didn't they put Reynolds back on 50? Reynolds was so hot. He was so good. Reynolds has never done a single fan event, and it is not on his Instagram. It is not on his LinkedIn. It is not like, he's like, I don't give a fuck. I did a TV show. I don't fucking care.
So I think that's interesting. And, you guys have been in this way, way longer than I have. But do you feel like that disconnect between like Jeff and the producers and the people who make the show happen, at least behind the scenes? Do you think that has something? It feels to me like when I hear you talk, Jerri, that there's a lack of humanity between the production and the people who folks tune in for, which is you guys, the contestants, and me, but really you guys.
Like, I mean, it's always been there. That's always been there.
So that's not a new thing, you don't think? No. That's not a season 50 thing. No.
It's just that. So here, I'll give you a little bit of tea here.
No.
So during the casting process, Jeff apologized to me for letting people boo me on the All-Star reunion. He apologized to me, and I told him that I accepted his apology, and I did. I was very grateful to hear that apology from him, but I also don't think he really understands what he should be apologizing for. And that was that after that show, nobody came to make sure that I was okay or to help me get past that. That was, imagine, I'm an actress. Going to Madison Square Garden is one of those things that you dream about. It was a big deal. A historical building. And there I am on the stage of Madison Square Gardens feeling so proud to be there. My family's in the audience, my boyfriend at the time, my sister. And I am watching all these people on All Stars who used to love each other. We were a very small, intimate family back then, and they were all at each other's throats. And it was breaking my heart that the audience was like booing and like judging and yelling. And I'm like, this is so not okay. And that's why I stood up and I said what I said, that this is not okay. This is making me sick. Like, we're people. These are friends. Everything that's happening right now is coming at a cost. And I was trying to make a point.
Yeah.
And they didn't listen. So I walked off live national television. And that to me was a very empowering moment for me that I am so proud of myself for doing. But what happened afterwards, I could not believe. There was no like follow-up with anybody, with casting, with Jeff, with the producers, and no love whatsoever. Like what I went through there at that moment was devastating.
That's nuts.
It was one of those moments that defined me as a person and took a lot for me to do, and also took a lot out of me. And I would have loved more than anything to know that I was on a show where people could see that. And then, I don't know, what can we do, Jerry? Let's figure this out together, right? I was at a party one time, and Les Moonves was the president of CBS back then. This is before he got #MeToo'd. And he comes up to me at a party. He's like, "Hey, Jerry, how's it going?" I said, "Hey, Les, how are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, how's your acting career?" And I said, "Well, it would be a lot better if you could get me a gig on a CBS show." I mean, think about that. It would make sense, right? Like if I go on a CBS show, it's still the same network. All the people that love and hate me follow me to that next show. Everyone gets what they want. But no, he just laughed at me. And it was so gross.
Yeah.
The fact that
why was that the response? That's a horrible
it's
response.
horrible. I know. And there's a lot of stuff about what has happened that you might say, well, you went back again, because I was so determined, because that's who I am, to not give up, to like figure out how to change the narrative of this experience that I had. And I've realized now, today, season 50, this whole scenario, I can't change it.
Yeah. Well, and so that kind of answers my next question of like, do you see a through line between that moment at the Garden and the aftermath of that to like what you've been going through over the past week? And did it feel like at a time that, you know, getting on 50 and being part of this celebration would have been that full circle moment of like, you know, I went through all this for you guys. I went through all this trauma and stress. And even when you abandoned me, I still came back for you guys, and you could have paid me back now. And maybe it wouldn't have made up for everything, but it would have been a pretty big step in the right direction. And they didn't do that. Like, do you see that through line? Am I drawing a conclusion here that makes sense?
It's crystal clear. Very well put. Thank you.
Gabe's good. Check out Gabe's big move.
It's my new show on the Reality After Show, but we're talking about something more important.
It's pretty incredible. But this is why this guy, like Gabe, is incredible. And Jerri, for Gabe, for a 47.
What are you doing with Fairplay, Gabe?
That's what everyone keeps telling me. I'm
out of here.
Jerri, my question for you.
He's got a pretty good read on the room, Jerri.
Jerri, my question for you is, now that this has happened with 50, are you done with Survivor, or do you think that there's any road down the road that could happen?
I'm done.
You're done.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm done. It broke my heart in ways that I didn't even know. 'Cause, like I said, at first I was just in shock and trying to process. And Penny in casting is absolutely an amazing human being, and she kept telling me, she was like, "Jerri, you're so much bigger than this show. You're going to be fine. You're an inspiration." Like, she kept giving me pep talks, but it still broke my heart. And I've been going through all the levels of acceptance. I think today, now that I'm talking to people, it's helping me get through it. And I am absolutely so grateful for the outpour of support and love I've been getting on the internet. Like, I burst into tears so many times during the day because people are so kind to me. And this is a new thing. You have to understand, like, people hated me. They hated me. And so to have this response is like more, I mean, that almost for me is better than going on season 50, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Jerri, you're better than them. Okay. Like I love Survivor. Survivor made me. I got nothing but thank yous. But what I feel I won Survivor. I feel Lex Vandenberg won Survivor, and I feel that you won Survivor, Jerri Manthey. And we can look at the friendships we've made, the good that we've done out there with all the charity events that we have done for 20 plus years now.
So
and
much
being top fundraisers secretly, honestly, behind the scenes, not bragging about it, but literally being the top fundraisers. And being able to help people, to talk to people on a one-on-one basis, to go through all this, to have the fans, to get the trophy, the smoke show fiance that I ended up with.
Yeah, you won. You won.
To have to.
And soon Jerri will have David, and she'll have her own smoke show fiance.
But no, we won.
Everything
Survivor.
as it should be.
We won Survivor, Jerri Manthey.
No, he likes young girls.
No, you listen, Jerri. We won Survivor, and I think Gabe is starting the process. He will have won Survivor too. It's very lucky the situations that we were given. However, if they don't think we're good enough for season 50, that's their fucking loss and nothing more.
And I think you're totally right, Johnny, when you say all of that. Like, what I think is interesting is that there's the perspective that you're taking, and that's the perspective of you guys as individuals, right? And you're 110% right. You guys are better than all of this. You have gotten everything anybody could hope to get out of this experience, probably a little more than you asked for at times, I'm sure. But I think the painful part of it is the relationship perspective of, like, not just you as an individual, but this connection you have to this institution of Survivor and the show of Survivor and the people who work on it, and the fact that you give so much to it and yet you never get that affection or that care reciprocated to you. And that's something that I think deserves to feel hurt about, and something that deserves to be talked about. And I think that's why the conversation we're having right now is so important, because it's like, it is in a lot of ways a pretty toxic relationship, at least from what I'm hearing from Jerri,
It
like
is.
Like a romantic relationship.
Yeah, it sounds like a dysfunctional, toxic relationship.
Yes.
Period. That is exactly what it sounds like. You keep giving and giving, hoping to get a different result, and you don't. So why do you keep going back? It's like it's a narcissistic relationship.
And like, I've been there with ladies in my life, who, like, I feel the same way, where I keep going back because I have this love and I have this affection and this dopamine rush that I get from being around them, just being in their presence. Just like I only did it once, but like being on Survivor is this dopamine rush unlike anything that you could ever do in your real life. Yeah. And why would you ever say no if you get the chance to go back? Even if you've been hurt before, it's a physical addicting feeling in your brain. And I think to a certain degree, and this may be accusatory, they know that. I think they know what they have. And it's just like if you have that boy or that girl in your phone who you don't get along with anymore, but you guys had a fling.
Still got that booty call.
Every time you text them, they're going to open it up and they're going to get back to you. And if you say, meet me here at this time and let's go on a date, they're going to be there.
That is exactly what it is. Totally.
They literally text Jerri Manthey and go, "You sleeping?"
BTB, bring that booty.
Right back. No, I'm awake.
Right, but actually though,
I'm awake now.
I'm awake. Yeah, well, I wasn't, but now I am. And we got to bar David from seeing this entire show. We need to black him out somehow. God. But I think that it's fascinating, and it is tough for people who haven't gone through it or haven't been close to it to really get it. And it sounds like, you're kind of going through that moment now of like, he wasn't good for me. And I feel like I'm ready to stop answering those text messages. But that in of itself, while it is a victory in a lot of ways, is painful. because it's like, like I don't want this to be over, but I
It was a
feel
good
like for
booty
me
call.
it needs to be. Exactly. Like, I don't want it to be over. I wish that I could wave a magic wand and make this person a better partner or make all their bad or toxic habits go away. But I now have to accept I can't.
But I wish they didn't have chlamydia.
Well, there's the Jonny Fairplay version for you there.
You see what I've been putting up with for all these years.
Well, that's what I'm signing up to put up with for the future, for the prime of my years. This is what I'm signing up for.
Jerry, I've been doing it for 4 years. I can't imagine 20.
Well, there you go. Exactly.
It's been rough, let me tell you. Definitely did not start off so great. Now I know what to expect, so I just ignore it.
Jerri Manthey gives the first hug of anyone you see if T-Bird's not in the room. I won't do that.
Wait, what?
T-Bird's the quickest to give a hug. You were the second quickest person to give a hug in the room, Jerri Manthey. You were a very loving person.
I love hugs. In fact, I really want one right now.
Maybe you shouldn't be in the desert by yourself. There might be more hugs around for you if you weren't stranded.
I feel like we're giving you collective hugs.
I mean, look at this place. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Let's be real.
There looks like someone in the distance. You can make friends and ask for a hug.
No, there's nobody here.
I think that's just a coyote.
They're my friend's coming back tonight. This is his property. And
Okay.
he let me stay here knowing that I needed some space.
Yeah.
And
so,
it's
Jerry, do not hug a coyote.
You may feel desperate. Don't do it.
Yeah. They're so cute. They're so cute. You want to, right?
What, coyotes?
Yes.
Some of them are really scary looking.
Feral,
well,
yeah.
Cute ones you want to. Don't hug them either, Jerry.
I hear them off in the distance, and Rocky is just like,
you got Rocky. You're fine. He's a support coyote assault.
Rocky with an I.
Oh my God! Listen here with your pronouns, Jerry. This is 2025. Jeff Brooks don't like that shit no more. That was the new era. He's over that bullshit.
He learned his lesson.
He wanted Hasselback, couldn't get her. You're off. All right, rumor and innuendo. Tell me if you heard this.
What?
You were on the cast. You were locked in. Elizabeth Hasselback gets the call. She was like, "Yeah, but I have a no-fly list. If these people are on, I'm not on." And they're like, "No problem." And then you're off.
Is there a question in here?
Do you think you were on the no-fly list?
Do you think that was a possibility of when negotiations were potentially happening with Elizabeth Hasselbeck?
Just, there's no way Elizabeth would ever stoop as low to do Survivor again. She's moved on. She's got like a very successful life. She's married to a football.
Well, I think they were working out the money, and the money didn't work out. So let's just say, for argument's sake, she did open up the possibility. Do you think there was a potential she had a no-fly list and you were on it? Oh,
I'm sure.
Okay.
100%.
I heard I was on that list, and I never even got the call. I'm like, you wasted one of them there. Way to go, Hasselback.
Yeah, I've never seen her, talked to her, I've had any contact with her. She's another one who moved on and found some other channel of success on her own and really didn't embrace the Survivor community at all. And that's fine. That was her choice, but she's also not on season 50.
Well, I met her at America's Tribal Council after the All-Stars, that when they had the awards deal. And so they had me, I think I was second row in the middle, and I was sat down, and then Elizabeth Hasselbeck shows up, and she's like, "Where am I sitting?" They're like, "Right there beside Fairplay." She's like, "Absolutely not. I will not sit beside him." And I'm like, "I'm not moving." And she's like, "I'll sit third row. I don't care."
I used to say that.
I bet to say, yeah.
Jerry
Think about who
was
you're
saying
talking
something
to.
very
On that
similar.
one.
She literally, I was literally the first person you saw when you walked into this Comic-Con, and Jerry's like, I will be the last not to sit beside him. And then day two, she's like, maybe we should sit together. It makes sense, right? I was like, are you my new friend? She's like, yes.
I could tell what the fans wanted to see too.
Oh,
Wow. You're not the only showman out there, Johnny. You're not the only one.
No, Gabe,
Oh,
it
no.
was the
Definitely not. But we
no,
like
Gabe,
William
it was the
Shakespeare.
three joints we shared walking after the first day.
And
I
that was
like, hey,
before weed was legal.
Did you? No. Oh,
that didn't
you're my
happen.
new best friend.
That didn't happen.
So, as you're losing sunlight out there, Jerry, I just want to thank you so much for being so vulnerable with us. That is a privilege that I don't have the vocabulary to express how grateful I am for that. That is amazing. And I know you're still processing a lot right now, but what are you thinking about the future? Like, you said you would do something like Traders. Do you still want to be a part of this community? Is it something you think you're going to need time away from? Like, what do you think the future for Jerri Manthey looks like?
I really don't know. For the first time in my life, I don't have some dream I'm chasing or
Is
some
there
idea
something? Is there
what
something a little liberating about that, or is it scary?
It's weird because my whole life I've had like a goal and I like set out to do that thing, right? Like move to LA, be an actress, blah, blah, blah. I had a goal and now I'm like trying to figure it out. It's a little scary. It is a little liberating, but it's different. And I'm not sure what's going to happen next, but I know myself. I'll figure something out.
I have no doubt.
I'm actually considering moving out here, to be honest with you. So I'm here looking at houses right now.
Where are you at now?
There's no houses near you, Jerry. So pick a little further.
She's looking for dirt patches.
It's that one. It's that one right there. That's my house.
Where are you at right now? Like, where do you live right now?
I'm in the Joshua Tree area.
Well, yeah, but like, is that where you like are looking for houses, or where are you looking to move away from?
Yeah, that's where I'm looking to. I live in Napa Valley right now.
Okay, gotcha.
And I love it, but I'm also getting antsy. I've been there 9 years, and I tend to.
Napa's a pretty cool place to live, Jerry.
It's pretty cool.
Do you drink wine?
I do, of course. If you don't drink wine and you live in Napa Valley, the police come and take you away.
Okay, well, will that be?
They breathalyze you, and if it's too low, then you gotta spend the night in jail.
Jerry, I'm familiar with Napa and Joshua Tree. Joshua Tree is very good to visit, but stick with Napa. Let me come out to visit you in Napa, and then we'll discuss where you need to. Oh
God! Well, you know what? I guess I might as well burn all the bridges before.
Yeah, there we go. There's the new TV show. Jonny Fairplay moves to Napa with Jerri Manthey. Check it out on the Peacock because they know how to make good shows, unlike Paramount Plus.
Well, again, for me, this was awesome. It's getting dark out there for you, Jerry. So get inside before the coyotes get you. But thank you so much. And like we said, it sounds like you're handling this as well as anybody in your position could. So, keep doing that. Keep being strong, and just know that you're not the toxic one in this relationship. That's all I'll say. Because I would like to get called back one day to go play. I'm not on Jerry's wave right now.
Well, Gabe, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
And I wish you the best of luck to keep
Thank
me
you.
updated on what you're up to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
he'll slip in your DMs. Don't worry, Jerry.
Fairplay. I don't even have to ask you because you're always so loud about what you do. I always find out.
Yeah. Well, Gabe will slip in your DMs, Jerry. Don't worry. You're good there.
And Jerry, as someone who I've never played before, obviously, but as someone who's watched you and watched every season as a super fan, like, thank you so much what you've done for the community, for the fandom. I know it hasn't always been supportive of you, but as you can see from all the love and support you've been getting on social media recently, like, we do love you, we do care about you, and we do wish we could see you on our TV screens again, whether it be on Survivor or something else. You deserve it, and we all want to thank you for everything you've done for Survivor up until this point and in the future.
Wow.
Oh, thank you. Wow, you guys, this is really lovely. Thank you so much.
I hope it helped even a little bit. Thank you, Jerry. You're a legend.
It didn't.
Sorry, it came from Jonny Fairplay and friends.
Yeah, right. Of all the places in the whole world, of everybody in the world where it could come from.
This was not what I was expecting.
There we go.
All
All right,
right.
Jerry, we love you.
Yeah.
I guess. Do you guys want to continue? Go through? Do you mind?
Yeah,
I'll
we'll
go through
keep
them.
going.
Yeah.
We'll
All right,
let her
Jerry,
go.
we'll let you go. You don't want to look through this list of
Yeah.
nobodies.
No, I'm
You're-
good.
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
Take care, Jack.
Awesome. Thank you,
Bye.
Jerry.
Love you.
Bye, Jerry.
Mwah.
All right.
Wow.
Wow.
That was crazy.
Did anyone have this on their bingo card for 2025? Bobby Goodsby, Gabe Ortis, Jonny Fairplay, Jerri Manthey talking about the aftermath of the season
Therapy session with
cast
Jerri
stuff.
Manthey. Oh my God.
This is
I
fucking
lost
nuts.
my camera for a second, so give me a second. I'm gonna remove myself and come right back.
Yeah, do
Oh
your
my
thing
God.
as we're live here.
It-
I mean, that was all. That was
Are you losing your
awesome.
mind?
Dude. Like, well, I mean, for everybody watching right now,
Yeah.
if you tuned in to the roast of Matt Bischoff that we did as his send off from the reality after show, like,
There's a mood.
yeah, right. Though that was a mood shift. How about that? From
That was a mood. Like we were roasting Matt. Like we told Matt
Yeah.
Bischoff that we are doing a thank you, Matt Bischoff, because Matt Bischoff's retiring from podcasting. So I was like, hey, we're gonna do a thank you, Matt Bischoff. He's like, oh my God, I don't feel like crying for an hour, but I will. And so he shows up, I was like, fuck you, dude. This is the roast of Matt Bischoff. We're fucking roasting you. And it like Gabe just lit it up like out of the gate. He shit on Lex for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It was fucking insanity.
But like that was one of those, like, because I'm still so new to this community and being a member, I have so many of these like out of body experiences of like, am I doing this right now? Am I talking to Lex and Brett LaBelle and War Dog and Johnny and Matt Bischoff? And, like, did I just call Lex gay for having piercings like in Africa?
Yes.
Did I just do that?
2002
Yeah.
perception, not Gabe saying that.
No,
In
yeah.
2002, did they?
Just cracking jokes.
Yes.
And then to turn it around and like an hour later be talking to Jerry and Joshua Tree, it's just I'm so thankful, man. And that was
Dude,
crazy.
it's insanity. Like
I'm
we're
so
literally
thankful.
like 20 minutes later, it's like we're doing pegging jokes with Matt Bischoff, and Jerri Manthey is giving us her soul.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. It's the beauty of this community, man. That's what it's all about. Is those
nuts.
layers? There's layers.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna do the
that's
easy
problem with Jerri Manthey not being a part of the season, because like she is dude, T-Bird. Why is it T-Bird on season?
Yeah.
Jesus
And it would have been
Christ,
so
Isaiah.
easy. Yeah, right. It would have been so easy.
Like I for a long time I was on the what is your resume, blah blah blah. But if season 50 is a celebration of Survivor, season 50 is a celebration of Survivor total.
Yeah.
So put T-Bird on there, put Bryce Isaiah on there, put Jerri Manthey on there.
Yeah.
Who is the first? Tina Wesson. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, like those people are what really built this community and brought it into the modern era. Like Survivor is popular on social media because of the way the players interact with the fans and the fact that these fans can go to these watch parties that Bryce puts on, and Wendell too,
And Jonny Fairplay.
and Jonny Fairplay,
Wow,
and
jeez.
Rob Sesternino. But like that they can engage with players like us, like on these podcasts, like that is something that is so organic and grassroots. And I don't think the show is what it is today without that.
I don't think so either. And they do not like I literally spent an hour talking to Tyson yesterday.
Yeah.
Like right before he went to the House of Villain season 3 house, by the way. And he was just like, dude, the fact that they do not collab with us on fucking social media, the fact they don't fucking pay us on fucking social media. Like literally right now, Destination X, NBCU is paying and collabing.
Yeah. And when we were at the pre-screening for the 48 premiere in New York, when Jeff was on stage and he looked at Sesternino in the crowd and was like, we've built this whole thing on Survivor, kind of like you, Sesternino, where you have this whole universe within your podcast channel. That little tiny acknowledgement was this like, oh, moment from the crowd.
Fire.
And
because they can't even do a fucking act.
Yeah, but that's what's so crazy to me though, is that like that should be the standard. Like there should be a healthy relationship between what Sesternino does and what they do at CBS.
And he started this whole thing.
Yeah.
And he started this thing like 20 years ago. He's just like, hey, here you go. Here's the key. I've been here the whole time. I've been supporting. She's like, oh no. You're not a part of this.
And like,
but we'll give you screeners. That's good.
Yeah, we'll give you screeners. And the fact that like Jeff making like a little comment like that was like a seal just got broken. Like that should be the standard. He should be invited to these events. He should be on the stage with Jeff talking about what's going on. Exactly.
I mean, I'm just saying.
And it's always been this very weird rejection of the organic community that is the lifeblood of this show. And it's weird, and I don't really get it. I don't understand what CBS has to gain from that.
It's like Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon loves wrestling, lives by wrestling, he's like, but the fans.
Yeah.
Look at them.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, they pay you, but look at them.
And they organize themselves.
Yeah.
It's like they don't need these beach drops. And what's crazy to me is that for years, Bryson Wen and you and Sesternino were putting on all these watch parties. And it wasn't until they started selling out theaters that CBS was like, well, maybe we should do this ourselves.
Maybe we should steal this thunder.
Maybe we should do beach drops, and we'll have our challenges there, and we'll invite former players. And it's like, you're not reinventing the wheel. The wheel's been rolling for years now. You're just bringing in the CBS money to put 20-inch rims on it and saying it's your own thing. And it's so weird to me. And you can see, like you said, all these other shows are popping off now. Traders, House of Villains, Destination X, if that's going to be a success, whatever that will be.
All collabs,
and
it's bring you back for shit. Bring you in for the weekend just to film some extra fucking shit.
Yeah. And it's like
we're making money.
And we know that the way we can make more money and make these shows more successful is by having the stars be proper stars. Yeah. And CBS, or maybe not CBS as a whole, but Survivor is so scared of that.
Paramount Plus is a dud streaming service.
Dude.
Peacock is awesome. You got WWE, you got Love Island, you got all
England Premier League. I'm a huge soccer fan, so like, and
what is literally Paramount Plus? Paramount Plus doesn't even have the challenge,
and
the one thing it should have.
You go on Paramount Plus, you have to scroll to find Survivor. It should be, and no matter who you are, no matter what category you're
King
in,
of Queens reruns.
Exactly. Like it's like, what are we doing here?
Mama's Family.
All right, let's get into this list here. We're done. Yeah.
All right.
We were on TIFF. Bobby, please.
One thing I'll say about it as a fan's perspective is shows. The show is proper. It never, like you guys said, never gave a shit about the fans, right? It was always, oh, we love the fans, but behind the scenes, it's all about the money, right? And the ads and the revenue and all that. When podcasts like RHAP, Reality After Show, whatever, when they started really communicating with the fans and had a fan's perspective and would come in and have fans be part of the podcast or just have them in the comments and reading the comments and like listening to them and hearing what fans had to say, it opened up a whole new world for these fans to actually feel like they had a community and they had people that were involved in the Survivor community actually listening to them and actually understanding their takes, and they could conversate with these people and feel like they are in a small part of the game and part of the season. And Survivor never led with that. They never bought in on that. And I agree with you guys. They're buying into the hype now by doing these things, but they're not even doing it in the right way or publicizing it.
They're like, hey, we did it. Shut up.
It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating from a fan perspective and from someone who loves this show and has loved this show for many years that we just were never accepted by the show proper as the fans as a whole. So that's my little
I couldn't agree more. And it's weird. It's just weird to me. But I want to get into this list. Let's get late.
Let's go. Gabe, you will have plenty to talk about on Gabe's big move. I hear the soliloquy starting now.
I had a whole topic set, and I think I'm gonna have to postpone what I was gonna talk about.
There we go.
All right, ideas are firing. Tiffany.
Next up, Tiffany, season 46. I feel she was cast because she is the hater of Q, and if you're gonna have Q on, you have to have Tiffany on. I wanted to like Tiffany. I forgot Tiffany was on during the season, and I really forgot after the season. So to tell me that Tiffany is season 50 worthy, I need to see the blackmail material that she has on you.
Well, so here's what I find interesting about Tiffany, right? Is she is the only person on this entire cast who is an out-and-out sidekick on her season. Yeah. Everybody else who was on this season was the face of their alliance, was the face of the big moves that they were a part of. New era, old era. And she's the only person who broke through. She was Q's number 2, and then she was Kenzie's number 2. At no point,
Camilla's kind of a number 2.
Well, yes. But what's interesting is everybody sees Camilla as this person who was forced to be a number 2, who was somebody who, was the brains, but was also somebody who was in this position of like, I have so much I want to do, but because of who I'm playing with, I have to be a number 2. Where Tiffany could have been an alpha personality. She could have been the face of moves. She could have been the face of the alliances she was in, and she never was. And she's the only person on this entire cast who I would subscribe that to. So I find it very out of place that she's here. Like you said, I think I met her in person a couple times. I think she's super fun. I think she's an awesome person. I thought she was one of the highlights of 46 for her time out there. But I don't quite like. She would have been perfect for a second chances. Just great. Would have fit the archetype.
I'll allow a second chances. Honestly, you were more famous than she was. And how famous do you feel from 47?
Well, not just coming from just 47, not very.
Okay. I feel you're more famous than she is.
Okay.
Why is she on?
Tiffany is in my head, when I saw Tiffany was on this cast, I was like, I don't care. Like, this is one of those people I just do not care to see play again. I don't understand it. It makes no sense for 50.
But no, she wants up there. She's there to fight with Q. You don't get it. Isn't that great TV? No. The thing I will say about Tiffany is every season, then they do like these returning seasons, like Second Chance. Kelly Wentworth. No one thought she should be there. She killed it. No one saw her as a threat. Right. You know, they do this on seasons where they return someone, and there's always a female player, and I hate to say that, but it's always the female player that no one expects to see coming and blows it up and kills it on the show. And I think Tiffany could easily be that person. And I want to see that. I just don't understand it for 50, but I want to be proven wrong and impressed by her game.
And I'll say that I think she's got a lot of potential to do that. This is somebody where I'm like, Joe, I think is very little potential to prove me wrong about my opinion on him. Tiffany, I think there is some potential there for everyone to be like, we didn't see that coming. Oh my God.
Well, no, Joe and Coach are going to have the alliance of 2 with no one else. It's going to be amazing.
Well, okay, dude. Here's the thing with Joe, right? Now, I know we're talking about Tiffany, but here's the thing with Joe. Every time, and I talked about this on my show, Gabe's Big Move. You can watch it Tuesdays at 7:15 p.m. every week. When every time the game got even a little strategic around Joe, he lost his mind.
Yes.
He was literally like, oh, well, I'm going to find out what's happening. Just so you know, I'm going to figure it out. Even if it was something as simple, the most baseline strategy you can have in a game of Survivor, literally like the most basic intro to Survivor strategy you can have is we're going to vote this person out. And we're going to tell them that we're voting this person out.
Oh, God.
And when they said that Joe was going to be the decoy vote, he was bugging out the entire episode.
It was
It was like the most basic level of strategy that he couldn't handle mentally. So what is he going to do when he's out there with Suri and Coach and all these people? He's going to fall apart. Why do we need to see
him and
that?
Coach are going to be best friends, but I don't think it's going to work out for either one of them. I think Suri is like, let's get rid of these two fucking morons.
Which would be good TV, to be fair. That would be good. If it happens in like episode 1 and 2, that would be good TV. I
don't love Joe. I love Coach, but yeah, I would love to see that. It's just like, hey, we're the John Cena Alliance. Great. You won't see us leave.
All right, so let's go to the next one then. We've got D from season 45. Johnny, what's your opinion on D?
If you have to have a winner, I choose Vesepia over D. So I drop D from the cast. And if you need another Hispanic lady to replace her, I put Abby Maria on this cast. And I think everything is fixed.
I think D is an interesting choice. I think her being a winner, unfortunately, makes it less appealing to have her on. But she's gotten a lot of flowers for her performance on 45.
Okay.
And it's like, let's see. I am intrigued to see what she can do on a season where it isn't a bunch of kind of lame duck sit on our hands type players and a lover boy. Like, I don't think people are going to be too keen to fall for her batting their eyes at him. And she did more than that, to be fair.
She hooked up with Bananas on the last season of the challenge.
Oh, really?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And it's in the show?
Before that.
Oh, Bananas, dude. That's almost as gross as hooking up with Jonny Fairplay. That's gross.
Whoa,
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm still in roast mode.
I'm right here.
I'm sorry. No, I would be honored to hook up with you, Johnny. Don't worry.
That's weird. Where's Jerry? Where's my spirit animal?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You guys don't live that far apart, so like.
But I think that there's some potential here for this to be interesting. Again, I don't think we need to see a winner again. I definitely don't think we need to see a new era winner again.
I mean, as I said, what's wrong with Vesepia right here? And if and the winner replacement Vesepia. Hispanic replacement, Abby Maria. I'm cool with this.
Yeah, agreed.
But I love D. I think D. I've met D. I think she's incredible.
I haven't met her, but I hear great things.
Well,
D is
from
the
who,
best.
Wendell?
D
You
is
said
the best winner from the new era season, in my opinion. I love Rachel, but I think D is the best winner from this from the new era. And if you're gonna have a winner from the new era, I agree it should be D. I want to see what she can do, knowing that people are going to know she has this big threat on her, big target, big threat about her. I want to see what she can do with,
Why is there a winner?
I agree. I'm saying if you're going to have a winner,
but why do we need a winner?
I don't think we need to.
There? Gabe, do we need a winner on season 50?
The short answer is no.
That's where I'm at.
I kind of think, and maybe they didn't want to do it, if you're going to have winners and it's season 50, do you give Tony or Sandra a chance at 3, or is it so improbable it's not even worth it?
Oh, I think that part's fine, but I just say no winners. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. I'm not going to – I think D's going to be good. I like the casting. I would have preferred Vesepia and Abby Marie instead. All right, next.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, next. All right, we got Emily from season 45 as well.
I felt like we saw the whole story. Like she was she was a bad heart. She turned good. We got it. She literally said she had nothing else. She never wanted to play again. There was no need for her to go back. I agree with you, Emily. There was no need for you to go back.
Yeah, I think you pretty much said it all. Like, this story was so full circle, was so complete. She was good. I thought she was a good player, and I liked watching her play.
I liked her the first 4 episodes, and then I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like, what
I like.
Remember when you were good TV?
I feel like the best things to watch in Survivor is like evolution. And I talked about this on last week's episode of Gabe's Big Move too. But it's like part of the reason why Joe and Eva were such bad TV was because their relationship in episode 1 was the same exact relationship as it was in Final Tribal Council. And like there was no evolution to watch. There was no change. It was the same thing every week. And Emily, how does she evolve anymore? She was the cunning, I don't get along with people, I'm going to backstab you, I'm going to have a loud mouth and call people out kind of player. Then she learned to be quiet. She learned to get along with people, to move her game further. She was the fallen angel. She went out at Final 5. Like, what else is there for her to do other than to go on a winning run, which is improbable because she's playing with 23 other people trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I think that with Emily, I liked the train wreck version of Emily. The Emily we got at the beginning of the season, going crazy on the beach.
I like that. That was the only likable version. She's already turned good. I'm done.
She was like the female Q before there was a Q for 4 episodes, and then turned into just an average male player for the rest of the season. I think that Emily, for whatever reason, anytime I see her on any of like these, Duck Duck Goose games or Clock Tower games, like she just drives me nuts how she plays the game in those games. And I can only imagine what she's going to do in 50 that is just going to drive me up a wall. So
drives you nuts how? Like,
yeah,
why?
what does she do?
She's very narrow-minded when it comes to these games, where she'll have an idea in her head, okay, this is how this person's playing, I can't work with them. When I see her on these Blood in the Clock Tower games and Duck Duck Goose, like she's very narrow-minded that she can't look past what her feelings are in that state, that she literally will not go and work with people or do things to advance her game or to build relationships. And I worry that's going to carry over to Survivor.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's just my personal opinion from what I've seen. I'm just not a fan of that gameplay.
Next.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, hold on, Gabe. Did you watch Destination X yet?
No, I need to though.
So Mac is Emily Flippin with the personality. She's amazing.
Oh, okay, that could be fun.
Mac. Yeah. Lynn Spillman would have cast her. All right, Jonathan.
Johnny's overwhelmed. Yeah, I'm about to say Johnny's getting a case of the vapors.
I cast Jonathan on this season.
You would?
Yeah,
I do too.
Tell me why.
He's the only guy that was a guy in the first version of the new era at all, and I want to see Ozzy versus Jonathan. Like, yeah, I cast Ozzy.
You would?
Yeah, I understand that the 5-time itis and all that, but it's like Ozzy is a staple of the show, and and I want to see Jonathan versus Ozzy. So I'm for it.
Yeah, I think it's cool, and I think something that people need to give more credit for, and you kind of mentioned this earlier when we were talking to Jerry, Johnny, is like very like WWE-esque, where it's like you can have multiple storylines running at the same time, and not every story. I feel like fans get so caught up in this idea that like the only storyline that matters is who's gonna win, and like you can, if Johnny and Ozzy both are the first and second members of the jury, but we get like a 3 or 4 epic challenges between them, then that's a storyline complete, and that's a successful casting on both of their parts. So like,
I don't think Jonathan goes by Johnny, but yes, I agree.
Did I call him Johnny? Sorry, but
Big Johnny.
Well, I mean, I get it. I am the Boca Raton cruiserweight champion of the world.
Listen to the roast of Matt Bischoff and see how much we think about it.
Bobby Goodsby, we're about to fight for the belt.
Okay, make it a champ for the championship belt. Also in Boca Raton. The one thing I will say about Jonathan is he is Jeff Probst's wet dream Survivor player, is he not? Like, if he could mold a season of Ozzy's, Jonathan, and Joe's. Thank you. That's what I was trying to think of. Joe, and even Malcolm. That's Jeff's wet dream of a season. But the thing is, with Jonathan, I actually don't mind him being part of the cast because
I love it.
one, he was a comp beast, and I wanted to see more from him in the mental side or in the strategic side. We didn't get that. And from what I've heard from people listening to other podcasts, the people that know him say he was really disappointed that he didn't play more of a strategic game. Now, he knows his strengths are built on what he can do physically, but he felt like the aspect of the strategic game and the personal game that he didn't get to show those as much as he probably wanted to. And he thought, given a second chance, he thinks he could really show that side. So I'm very interested because I like Jonathan as a character on my TV. I think he's a good person to have on Survivor. From what he brings physically, if he can bring the same thing strategically or interpersonally, I'm all on board on that.
He's in the John Cena alliance with Coach and Joe.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing I worry about is if
Samuel Gross is in this alliance as well.
If him, Joe, and
building. I just thought it was 2 people. Right now,
we're growing it. We're growing it as we go.
We got 4. I am all about the John.
Is this going to be the power of the You Can't See Me alliance, the Doctor of Thugonomics alliance? Is that what's going to run season 50?
I am here for it.
That would be kind of cool. I'm selling it to myself as we do this.
It's the reverse cookout alliance.
Yeah. I can't get canceled, bro. I'm just getting started.
I'm not, listen. If Davey could be in this alliance, I co-sign it all day long. So Davey should be here. We'll get to it. All right, next. Devins. I think Devins is going to be a fish out of water.
Why?
I just don't think he has the connections that a lot of these people do.
Yeah, I could see that. I think that he's somebody who is going to come in to the game kind of similar to Genevieve, where he doesn't have a lot of his castmates out there like other people do. I don't think he's going to be like a big pre-gamer. I know that Genevieve is not a big pre-gamer.
I don't think so.
But what that can go one of 2 ways, though. That can either be
you're either good or you're not.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could get scooped up and find yourself in a really good place, or you could be an outsider and people are like, well, it's just easy to get you out of here. So you
Gabe,
gotta
go. Winners at War. Sandra flew out because Sandra is a big pre-gamer. Sandra flew out to meet Denise to talk to her one-on-one. Her own money, and Sandra does not spend money.
Yeah.
She flew out there and she was like, she pre-gamed with Denise, and Denise was like, I got you. I'm not going to fuck you over. And she's like, I looked in her eyes, Fairplay, and she told me she was not. And that shit means a lot to Sandra.
Yeah.
And that shit means a lot to me too. Because I did the same fucking shit with fucking Fans versus Favorites. I flew it to Los Angeles with my manager, met with fucking Penner. Yao Man was on fucking he was supposed to be there. He was on fucking audio, a speakerphone, and we worked on this whole deal. I got out there. Those are the 2 biggest assholes on that fucking island. Fucking Yao Man. I'm like, hey man, what's going on? How are you? He's like, I don't talk during the game. This is business. I don't mix the 2. And I'm like, so we're just supposed to fucking not talk and be in alliance for fucking like 37 days?
Yeah.
Or 39 days. He's like, yes. I'm like, well, this fucking sucks. This is the worst alliance ever. Fucking Penner grabs me. He's like, hey, you want to talk in the woods real quick? I'm like, sure. We go in the woods. I was just like, he's like, hey, what are you thinking? I'm like, well, he's like, I don't care what you're thinking. I call the shots. This is my fucking show. You do what I fucking say. Wow. We good? And I was like, oh, I stand corrected. This is the worst fucking alliance ever. Like, and I fucking spend money to fly to Los Angeles to talk to these assholes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But that's why, like you were saying with Jerry, like pre-gaming, it doesn't seem worth it.
Pre-game is bullshit.
It doesn't seem worth it.
You do not know who they really fucking are.
Yeah. And they're going to say, if you're going to fly out there, they're going to say anything that they know you want to hear. Like, of course they are.
So Sandra was destroyed when fucking Denise fucked her over. She was like,
Wow.
I fucking flew out there. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, Sandra, I'm with you. I was like, that, like you made fun of Lex, but that was the whole deal with Lex and Boston Rob. Like Boston Rob lived on fucking Lex's couch for like 3 months.
Wow.
Like they
I
were
didn't know that.
boys. And so like Boston Rob's like, hey, can you protect Amba? And Lex like, this kind of fucks up my game, dude. He's like, no, I got you. And he's like, all right. So he did it. And he was like, hey, you know, they did the swap. He's like, now I'm fucked. He's like, sorry, bro. Game, not bros. Can't take
Wow.
care of you. And it's just like, real. I can't do that.
Brutal. Yeah. No, that's brutal. Yeah. And that's
like
why these
Andy, your AFC rival in life.
And my Tottenham brother.
Yeah. You guys are bonded.
Yeah.
You would never not even
No.
you wouldn't do that to Andy.
No, I wouldn't do that to any of them. I wouldn't do it to Saul. I'd do it to Rome, but I wouldn't do it to Saul. I wouldn't do it to Rachel, Genevieve, Sierra. Like I wouldn't do it to any of them.
No.
Because the thing is that like I don't know, for me, because I didn't win, like the coolest thing I've gotten out of this and the thing I cherish the most out of this, like, is those friendships and those relationships.
Yeah, we won.
Yeah, exactly. And I would never spoil that for like just to get a few rounds ahead. Like that's you know, like that.
It's
That's
not
crazy.
in me. It's I'm the greatest bad guy ever, but is Boston Rob better than me? Apparently.
Yeah.
I can't
So let's go back to Devins. Something I'll say about Devins is I love Devins. He was my favorite player from 38. I loved everything that he brought
I think
to
he's
the
my favorite
table.
player.
I think that Devins should have been called back sooner. Obviously, we knew for
Yeah.
certain reasons with COVID and everything that didn't happen until 50. The thing I want to say, though, is I know someone that I talked to that is on this cast for 50, and they are not a fan of Devins. And they
Really?
are ready to attack because they knew he was a part of it. So
Wow.
I don't have high hopes for Devins if that person has the bonds that they think they do.
Yeah.
I just think that I'm not saying that there's any pregame alliance or anything like that. I just know how they feel personally about Devins, and it crushes me because I love Devins and I want to see him do well. And I've been waiting for this second chance for a long time. But given what that person has told me,
Yeah.
Devins might not be long for the game.
He's not popular in the Survivor
Lexicon?
the castaway community. And people, I love Devins. Like
Have you
I
met
hung
him?
out with him. Like the first time I met him, we went on a balcony. It was me, Wendell, him, and Devins, and Ethan. And we blazed out, and he was like, did I just become a Sith? It's like, yes, motherfucker, you're in. So yeah, no, he's a bad guy. He's fucking awesome. So I am all about some fucking Rick Devins.
Next.
Tell us how you really feel.
Christian Bickey. I hate Christian Bickey.
Why?
Oh my god, he is the worst.
Why?
Have you met Christian and Vicky?
I've never met him.
He's the worst.
He's the worst. He's the worst. No, I did Survivor viewing parties that season. I did a lot of them, and I had Dr. Allison at one of mine, and she was on there, and she goes, oh my, and she won immunity that night. And she was like, I was like, what do you think? And she's crying. And she goes, I just can't wait for my mom to see this. And in the fucking crowd beside Dr. Allison was her mom watching this episode at my Survivor viewing party. I'm like, oh my God, this is one of the coolest things. Like, I've had proposals at my viewing parties. I've had really awesome stuff. And I was just like, this is one of the coolest things ever. So then Dr. Allison invited me to her Survivor viewing party. And it was the one, it came down to her and Christian went. I was like, fuck yes.
Wow. I think that I don't know. I'm excited for this one. I think that he's somebody that obviously has maybe some of, if not the most hype around him.
Yeah.
Out of the whole cast. I just people cannot wait to see this guy back, and they've been clamoring for it for years. But like I feel like he navigated a season with a lot of wacky people on it very well. And I think he's somebody who could potentially run circles around a lot of the new era people that have been cast. Like, you're telling me you don't want to see Christian and Q have a conversation? What the fuck does that look like?
Yeah.
You know what? I will allow a Christian Q conversation.
That would be crazy.
But I mean,
Christian-
literally, this guy is fake John Cochran. It's just like, well, then why don't you just ask John Cochran?
Sure, he's a Cochran light. I'll give you that for sure. No doubt about that.
Timu John Cochran.
Timu, yes. Shout out Lex.
Christian is
shout out Matt Bischoff. Timu. Lex
Yeah.
Vandenberg.
Christian was the best player from David versus Goliath, in my opinion. Like the most memorable, one of the best players on the entire season, and that season's considered one of the top 5 to 10 best seasons of all time.
I'm in top 5.
I'm in top 5 as well.
5?
For what? Go say it again.
For David versus Goliath, top 5 season.
No.
Oh, I think it's in there.
I do.
No.
I have a top 5.
So for him being the most,
it's a great
memorable
season, not top 5.
Okay.
But I think for him being so memorable, I am so glad he's back. I'm glad that he's Dr. Christian Hibicki. He's doing all kinds of things. He doesn't need to go back, but he's so involved in the community. He's always doing these podcasts. He loves interacting with the community, and I'm just glad to see him back and to see what Christian 2.0 can do. That being said, I think he's got a big target on his back because he is Christian Hibicki, and people knows what he can do with puzzles. People are just going to be scared of him and want to take him out. I worry that he could go out early, especially pre-merge when they want to keep the strength there. But he does bring a lot of other factors, and he's sociable enough for being such a dorky, awkward dude that I think he could get by. And if we get Survivor 50 winner Christian Hibicki, I won't be mad at it.
I agree.
All right. I'll allow it.
Next.
Oh, God.
Mr.
Here we
White
go.
Lotus.
All right, so I think we're going to go a very different route than Rob has a podcast on this because I literally saw reels of them fucking celebrating this shit. Number one, I think it's kind of an asshole move of Mike White to continuously text Jeff Probst, hey, I want that spot on 50. Hey, I want that spot on 50. Hey, I want that spot on 50. When there's other motherfuckers that need that fucking spot on 50 and you don't.
Yeah.
How about season 51, motherfucker?
Yeah, I think the whole thing is kind of weird.
It's gross.
I think what you said is weird. I think the relationship that he's gonna have with other people on the island is gonna be weird because, like, I don't think Jerri was joking, obviously, but I think there was a lot of truth in it when she was like,
she's working with him.
yeah, hey, there's no better way to speed run a lifelong friendship with somebody than to play Survivor with them. And I think there are a lot of people out there who, whether they realize it now or not, are going to be like, if I can get in good with this guy, I could change my life. And even though it probably won't happen, even the incentive for that, I think, is so outside the game and so anti what it's about that I'm not into it at all.
I loathe it. I love the hype. How about Mike White as the host of season 50? How about that?
There you go.
I co-sign that.
If Mike White isn't Mike White, he maybe gets on 37. Maybe. He definitely, after 37, never gets asked back again. But because he's Mike White.
Motherfuckers texting. Do you text Probst, Gabe?
Yeah, and then I text Donald Trump right afterwards.
Oh,
yeah, right.
Which one replies back first?
Trump.
Wow.
I will say this about Mike White, though.
It's AI. It's AI, Gabe. I don't want to hurt your feelings. It's $29 a month. It's AI.
Yeah, and so was Jerri just now for the last hour.
Mike White
Jerri was
did
AI,
play a very good game in 37. I mean, he got to the final 2. He could have easily won that game. But I need to see Mike White? Huh?
He's Mike White.
He's Mike White.
And he's Ned Schneebly. He is Ned Schneebly.
Yeah,
that's who it is.
Voting him out, or do you think he's a lock for final 3?
If he gets to the final 3,
I think these people are morons.
I can't believe that. That is such a failure on behalf of everyone playing if that happens.
Because everyone wants to get on freaking White Lotus. Who's going to be the person to turn against them?
I'm sending that motherfucker home fast as fuck.
I'm with Johnny on that. I would send him home as soon as I could.
Dude.
Yeah.
And
enjoy your 3 days in fucking Fiji, motherfucker. See ya.
And you know what else is the
And I've never watched your fucking show.
Neither have I.
They say I've seen it. I love them all 3 seasons. Or yeah, I love every season.
You know what? I told my friend Jason Powell from Pro Wrestling Boom. He says, "Good, it's not great. Don't waste your time."
This new season was pretty meh. The first 2 seasons are good.
That's Johnny's voting confessional when he writes his name down. Word for word is voting confessional. That would be awesome.
But I'm doing block letters for White. Like Mike real small. He's like, yeah, fuck you, dude. Where were you January 6th?
That would be funny to do that for every voting confessional. Where were you on January 6th? No matter who it is, that would be awesome.
I'm calling out Sydney first.
Yeah.
Where's Sydney? Why isn't Sydney on this season?
They absolutely set Mike White up too by having 2 members of his cast.
Oh, that's the obnoxiousness of it too. It's just like, not only do we give him 2 friends to fucking politic for him. I'm like, he doesn't need the fucking politicking. However, I'll take Angelina over either of these 2 all day long.
I'll take Christian all day.
Really? I think I take Angelina.
Yeah. These 2
it's close. It's close.
Yeah. Also, both Angelina and Christian have been on White Lotus. They have both made appearances. So you know they're close.
Why wouldn't they? Well, guess what?
Not everyone from that cast has
right now. All right.
Next. I mean, wait, real quick. Is that the greatest pregame strategy of all time by Mike White by casting people from his original cast, only them to be on his hit TV show, so that if he goes back, people won't vote him out so that they can get on a future episode of that show? I mean, this might be
the ultimate
6th level genius, right?
Yeah. I agree with that. And also, is this the best pregame photo of all time?
Yeah.
Does he not look high as shit? I mean, he's as high as Jonny Fairplay right now.
This is pretty amazing. Like, I'm shocked he even has nipples.
Unlike
he
David,
was so malnourished that you think that the nipples would implode.
They just fall
He was
off.
playing Survivor before they even started the show.
Next.
Like, yeah, I did one of those bullshit fucking 26-day seasons where I got here.
And right on cue.
Yeah. I love Angelina. She's one of my favorite players in the history of the show. She did my podcast. She cried. I cried. It was wonderful. There we go.
Yeah, I think she's going to be great. I think this is right up there with Christian of one of the most hyped up names that's going to be on this season. That's just been building year after year that she hasn't gotten back on. And now she's here. It's going to be a great show no matter how it happens.
No one better complain. You're right. we are not. Everyone there. Hey, anyone doesn't like Angelina, come hit my DMs. I will punch you in the face.
Well, I'm just kidding. I love Angelina. I've talked to her in person. She's amazing. She's awesome. I'm glad that we get to see Angelina 2.0 because I think she got a raw deal the first time. And I think she's so much better and more of a character, but like in a good way than what we got in Angelina Point.
Yeah. Agreed. And she's coming out in a coat. It's going to be amazing.
One thing I told her too, I said, bring a damn jacket. Please,
she is.
For the love of God, bring a jacket.
She understood the assignment. All right, next. I don't get this one. For the fact that she played 3 seasons prior, I had no idea.
Yeah, neither did I.
Like, that was a shocker to. I was like, 3 seasons. I feel like we got everything we needed from Aubrey already.
And I feel like in her last season, which I admittedly didn't really watch a whole lot of, but she kind of got circles ran around her by a bunch of newbies.
Yeah.
And I feel like the whole reason they do these fan versus favorite seasons and the blood versus water and the team captain seasons is so that you can kind of hand somebody a really good run and ideally a win. And like, if you're getting circles ran around you by a bunch of newbies, like, I don't know how much of it. I feel like you kind of run out of gas, right? That's how I feel about this.
She dresses like Donald Duck.
No comment.
Like literally, that's the whole gimmick. It's the fucking long shirt and the fucking panties. That's Donald Duck.
I mean, you're not wrong. That is Donald Duck.
It is. It bothers me so much. like more than life itself. That someone that just literally spends their life walking around dressed like Donald Duck pains me.
I mean, this is
And
another one.
I love Aubrey for the record. I think we're friends. So yeah, I like Aubrey a lot. But yeah, there's no one asked. Her relatives didn't ask for this.
Well, so I would put her in the same tier that I put Tiffany from 46.
Tiffany, yes.
Where I'm kind of just like, I mean, like,
but I still don't think she'll do.
you're
Like, I think
great.
Tiffany has an upside. I don't think Aubrey has an upside.
yeah, I'd agree with that too. This is like, what else is there left to tell? I could see
This-
her leaving kind of early and everyone kind of forgetting that she was on this season.
This is an episode 3 boot where I have a
Yeah.
viewing party and they're like, so where are you at next week?
Yeah, right.
You think it'll be a good one? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm hoping this sucked.
Next.
Well, hold on. Let's just say this from a fan's perspective. My perspective is season 32, Aubrey, this queen got robbed. Like, she needs to be back. Bring her back immediately. I want to see what Aubrey 2.0 is. Aubrey 2.0 comes in 34. Background character. Don't really see much of her. Okay, yeah, but maybe she just didn't have the right cast around her. Aubrey
It's not
38
season
comes
50
in.
casting, Bobby. That's
No,
all
let me
those
finish.
words do not
Let me
equal
finish.
season 50 casting.
Aubrey 38 does nothing, is less than a background character, couldn't care less if she's there, don't need to ever see her again. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you've had 3 chances. You came really close the first time. Why the hell do we have you back again? I'm sorry, I don't need it.
I don't get it.
Next.
Whew.
Another one I don't get.
Oh, I just Chrissy Hoffback. She is an amazing villain. She's such a villain in real life. She's not even nice to me. And that makes me love her even more. Sorry, Chrissy. I win this one. I love Chrissy Hoffback. She went through a medical scare and came out on the right side of it. And I think she's ready to take advantage of that second half of life. And I love that story. I think there's a lot here. I think there's a good guy story, and I think she could chase it with she's still a fucking villain. And I think there's huge potential with Chrissy Hoffback on season 50.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think this is something where people could look back, or people could be kind of skeptical now, and when it's all said and done, could be like, "Oh my god, like that was one of the was there." I'm curious, Bobby, what makes you not thrilled about it? Not saying you're wrong, but just curious.
I agree she would have won her season if it weren't
If
for
they
the
had not
stupid
created
fire
fire on Final
Yeah.
Four.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. But I don't need to see her again. She wasn't that good, in my opinion. She wasn't that fun to watch. She wasn't entertaining. She
She
kinda
was.
seemed-
You didn't like her,
This, in my
Bobby. There's a
opinion-
huge difference between not liking and not being entertaining. She is entertaining to some that make it difficult for you to enjoy her. I thought she was very entertaining.
But in my opinion, if the fact that she is back, I would have cast probably 50 other female versions of this character type
Over
than
her.
Chrissy Hoffbeck.
Okay. Well, as you said, I like the story, and I like that she's a villain. I think she's going to start with the story and turn into who she really is and be a villain again. I think it's going to be good TV.
That could be, yeah. I see the path. I see the vision.
All right,
All right,
next.
next.
Coach. All right.
Coach.
I felt like I saw that, like the 3-story arc thing that they told Jerri Manthey, I felt is more applicable with Coach.
That's astute. I agree. But I
So-
also will watch Coach Wade anytime he's on the TV.
I will watch Coach Wade every time.
I mean,
always, ever. If you're gonna bring him back, he's the one to bring him back. But I'm just like by your logic, CBS, you're saying we got no, Jerry. We did not get the Jerri Manthey is literally a walking around spirit animal right now in fucking Joshua Tree. That is not the last time we saw Jerry on Survivor. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, the last time we saw Coach is still Coach.
Yeah.
The last time we saw him. Not much different than the first two, even though number 2 was shitty TV.
I wholeheartedly agree with all of that.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, if he's on I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna like it. It is what it is. I'm gonna like it, you know.
I'm all in. High five, Coach. We're good.
Yeah.
Coach, there's enough to be said. Like, Coach is Coach. Coach is a staple of Survivor.
Great.
Just like Boston Rob, Jonny Fairplay, Sandra, like all these staples of especially old school Survivor. Like, he is one of them, right?
Yeah.
Like, he is one that you think Survivor, you think Coach, you think all these people, like that's just a staple. And so he's one of the 50 casts I agree with.
And I see him as, to your point, Bobby, like a bridge guy, where I think he kind of brought the game from like where it was in the single digits and the early teens kind of into a more modern era. And I think there were like a handful, it's not a lot of them, there's like a handful of them. And I think Coach is one of those guys where you're like, that's a bridge guy. Like, I would say
he's in the John Cena Alliance, so we'll see how this
he
works
is
out.
in the Doctor of Thugonomics Alliance. This is true.
Okay, here we go.
I mean, he he played 3 seasons within 7 seasons apart, right?
Yeah.
So and we haven't seen him for 17 seasons. A lot could have changed, even though it doesn't feel that long ago. Realistically, it kind of was. So it has been over half the seasons of the entirety of Survivor have been played since he has played. Right. So I want to see what this older, Coach that has now seen the
do not use the word wiser because we don't know that.
I didn't say wiser. I just said older.
Those were the correct words. All right, next.
All right, let's go.
Cirie. Cirie is one of my top 5 favorite people on the planet, and I don't feel that we needed Cirie.
Hold up. We got a super chat. Kevin Hernandez. Would you have wanted Lex for 50?
In a heartbeat.
Yeah. In a heartbeat.
I think he never got a single call. Me or Lex, neither one of us got a call the entire time.
Yeah, I think that he would have been great. I think he would have been somebody who would have been like this awesome throwback that has like energy and juice, which is something I worry about with Colby. I'm like, last time we saw him, he was devoid of juice.
The Superman suit didn't fit no more.
Superman in a girdle, where Lex, I think, would have been like awesome and still has a lot of story to tell. Like I just across the board.
Or the marathon runner, Jonny Fairplay. I mean,
yeah, right.
Boca Raton cruiserweight champion of the world.
That's not what the super chat asked, though. He paid good money for that. But I think Lex would have been
Hernandez.
And if you want your question read live here on the chat, please get in your super chats and we'll definitely get to them. All right, Cirie, guys.
But I met Cirie once in New York, and she was awesome. I had this moment where it was just me, Cirie, and Sandra hanging out in the green room for the pre-screening. I wish. And it was just one of those another like out of body experiences where I was like, what am I even doing in this room? Is it me that's in this room right now? And she was so nice and so cool and so warm, as was Sandra. I am fully locked into the conspiracy theory that they are manufacturing a Cirie win some way, somehow, because it would just be the ultimate cap off for season 50 is that the most beloved, maybe best player that's never won the game goes and wins. So I think she's going to find a lot of idols. I think that she's probably going to I think she might even hit a shot in the dark this season.
Is she in the John Cena Alliance?
That's a good one. It's no longer the anti-cookout alliance if she is. So
great. Please, your God.
I mean, yeah, we might need that. Yeah, exactly.
Can we help this alliance?
Yeah.
Once again, I already co-signed Davey, who's not even on this cast. I'm like, please be in this alliance. Davey. Make it okay.
I could, but I think she's going to be everywhere. I honestly
think she's going to be everywhere too. I don't think anyone's coming after her.
Yeah, agreed. I think everyone's gonna work. I think everyone's gonna want to work with her. I think all the new era people are gonna be starstruck by her and want to work with her. I think all the old era people are gonna be like,
They
it's
just love
Suri.
her.
I think production's gonna be on her side. She's my winner pick.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. Next.
All right. Well, wait.
Sorry.
I got to give my opinion. And now I'm
Please.
going to be the asshole. All right. I have nothing bad to say about Suri. I love Suri. I don't need to see Suri 5.
I said that to start with, Bobby.
No.
I'm good on Suri.
Well, let me just say this. We saw her on Traders and she won and she did great. We saw her on Big Brother. That was kind of meh. And now we're going to see her on Australia v. the World in just a couple months. And now we're going to see Suri again. Like, they're just shoving her down our throats every way they can. It's too much. It's too much. I can't blame her. But I just don't want to see
it's like when I hated Boston Rob. It's just like, oh my God, like I got it. He's Boston Rob.
Yeah.
I
just don't need it.
No, I totally agree with all that. If I was casting the season, I would not have put her on there.
I would not either.
But
I love
just
her,
putting myself in their shoes and like trying to think the way they think, which I disagree with often. I get why they did it. It's not surprising to me that she's.
But there's another person that's her, that can be her. I mean, like, give me Sandra again, or once again, give me fucking Vesepia. Why can't we have Vesepia in the spot?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next. Hold on a second. It's not working. There it is. All right, Ozzy.
One of my good friends. I'm going to allow Ozzy because I want to see Ozzy versus Jonathan.
Yeah, I think Ozzy is somebody, again, who I think struggles with the evolution part of this.
He's not going to be good, but it's fine. I just need 3 episodes of him versus Jonathan going, my dick is bigger.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that will be fun to watch. It will objectively be fun to watch. Totally agree with that.
Whose dick do you think is bigger? Because Ozzy's is available to see on his OnlyFans right now.
I think Jonathan's dick is as big as Ozzy's whole body is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Hot take, Gabe.
Yeah, I think it's like iguana sized.
You may be correct. He always has a smile on his face.
That's the Lord's dick, dude. He's a man of God.
It is. Where was he January 6th?
Good question. Where were you on January 6th?
He's blessing it. He's blessing his dick.
Yeah.
Was it at the Capitol? We don't know.
Yep. On Nancy Pelosi's desk.
Wow.
They all just whip it out, and Jeff's like, "You win, Survivor.
You win, Survivor. Congratulations."
You win, Survivor.
That's his idol. If anyone would like to play an idol or an advantage, now would be the time to do so.
Well, here we go.
Mike White's like, "Oh man."
Mary says Jonathan nudes are out there, and he is small. Wow.
I got to see it to believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe
All right,
it. I
pull
think
that
you're
up
jealous.
on screen.
I think you're jealous, Mary Duda. That's what I think that is.
Hey, Gabe,
And that's ugly.
Have you seen Probst's dick?
No.
Is that
Really?
out there?
Yeah. Oh my God, you guys! I'll send it to you.
Oh, no. Okay.
please
I
don't.
didn't ask for that. No.
He's got a big dick, dude.
All right.
Yeah, his dick is out there. Everybody, look it up. You gotta do a creative Google search because sometimes it doesn't
They probably paid money to bury it.
I think so, but you can find it and it's pretty amazing.
Season
I
51.
would have guessed the exact opposite. It is huge.
Season 51, big dicks versus little dicks.
Yeah, right.
I'm on big dicks. Gabe, I got a question.
Yeah.
Don't make it weird.
All right.
No, go. Next person.
Next.
Wait, Ozzy. Okay, hold on. I had to get. There's too much dick talk. I get to talk about Ozzy.
Sorry.
Ozzy. I am excited because it has been an extended period since we've seen him, but I don't think Ozzy will ever play different than what we see Ozzy play every single time.
Yeah.
Right?
No evolution.
And he's older now. Is he really going to be the comp beast he thinks he is? We saw a downgraded version of that in 34. I think Jonathan smokes him at everything, and he gets like a Superman in a fat suit edit like we saw Colby.
So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, not to cut you off, but I don't know how much Ozzy has to gain by being on this season. Like Suri has
$1
something to
million.
gain by being out there. Like Colby has something to gain by being out. But Ozzy's not going to win. He's never going to win. Like, of course he's not.
But if he's looked at as less than a threat because he isn't as physically empowering, do you
What the
think
fuck,
maybe
bro?
he
That is
should
not
get further?
real. That is not real.
That's
God, luckily my phone is my camera right now,
Ew,
so
bro.
I can get this.
That is not real.
God
Yeah,
damn it, Johnny,
allegedly,
message me.
some girl walked in, a PA, and he was changing.
Bro,
He's
this
like,
is
he's like, take it.
Did that show up on the camera?
I hope not.
Sharing screen. I just realized that.
That's Jeff Probst.
that's not real. That
You've
might
never seen that?
No, I've never seen that before, bro.
Look that up.
That's been
That
out
is
for a
not
long-
real.
Like, it's not one of those like new like AI bull. Like
Put it
this
on
thing has been
screen.
out for like that thing has been out for like 15 years on the internet.
That is not
Like
real.
a
dude.
monkey's paw.
Yeah, right. That's like it's like the size of a ruler. That's not real. I'm no.
I
No. Next.
dude, that has
It's an
been out
OnlyFans.
forever.
Next.
All right, Stephanie. Whew. All right. Peek behind the curtain. Stephanie tried to pregame with people, and then people. So she pregamed with people from other reality shows to practice pregaming.
What does that even mean?
It doesn't.
Like pretended to pregame or said I'm gonna be on your show. Let's
I
pregame.
don't know.
Or was like, hey, this is fake.
This one's painful. This was painful. I think Stephanie could easily fly in under the radar, and I think Stephanie is going to go, "Hey, look at me! You don't think?" So, one of her strategies, she's going to tell people that she doesn't know Suri, even though they played on a season of Survivor together and the Traitors together.
Yeah, true.
And
Yeah, no.
the Graph. Sorry, 3 shows together.
Did they play Traitors together?
I don't know. They did 3 other shows together.
I could see her, yes, flying very under the radar because I don't think
she's going to raise her hand, dude.
with-
She cannot accept not like she's like, this is my chance. I've been waiting for this moment. It's just like, wait for the moment at the end when they write the name down. And that is not Stephanie LaGrossa.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see if that prophecy comes true.
Oh, like as I said, challenge 1. Who's the best? Look over here. Everybody focus your eyes. Learn the name. It's Stephanie with an E instead of an A. And they're like, got it.
Yeah.
I will-
and goodbye.
I will write that down shortly.
Yeah.
All I'm looking at is Stephanie's picture, and I just keep thinking of Jeff's dick. Thank you for that, Johnny. Now that you put that in my head.
That was Jeff's dick, Gabe.
That is not real, dude. I'm telling you, it's
There's
not.
no way that's real.
For 15 years, it's real.
That would be record breaking if that was real. that is like 13 inches. That's
It's
not real.
Oh wow! What are you working? That's a solid 10, dude.
10, bro. Even if it's 10, that's ridiculous. He's not a chimp.
He is. Have you seen his booking decisions?
Dude.
How does he not have an OnlyFans at this point? Like, the guy's missing out on millions.
Millions. That is not real.
No way it's real.
You
No
zooming
way.
in? You
I'm
zooming
looking
in on
at it.
Jeff Probst's
Yes, it's not real.
It's real.
Well, I'll never get cast on Survivor.
I told you I've been canceled like 4 times over the course of this fucking episode. I literally got to walk Jerri Manthey through one of the most devastating pieces of news she's gotten live on this channel of her entire life. It was
You were the voice of reason.
it's a big moment for me, and now I'm never gonna be able to do anything because I'm talking about the fucking baseball bat that Jeff has between his legs.
Hey, how can we judge his picks when he's got a dick like that?
Next,
Like a baby's elbow.
next.
Colby. Once again,
Oh,
if you're gonna have Jerri, you have Colby. This makes perfect sense. Oh wait, we don't have Jerri.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Colby's somebody else who it's like, unless he gets some big redemption arc, which is in the cards, it's like he had a 3-season arc that felt very complete. Hero to all-star to Superman in the girdle. And it's like, all right, you went out like that. It's like, all right, unless you come back and you have this redemption story, it's not worth it. And I don't think he is. Yeah, I don't think he is.
But he's in the John Cena alliance.
He is in Thugonomics. This is true. And you gotta respect that.
All right, there we go. John Cena alliance is another member. Stephanie LaGrosse is in the John Cena alliance.
Ooh, is she?
Oh yes. Big time. She's looking for any low hanging fruit there. She's like, oh please.
I just saw something low hanging. I know that.
Yeah, Jeff Probst.
If we saw Colby,
where good things happen.
If we just
My
saw
pants
Colby
were
being,
good things happen.
God damn it, you guys.
Sorry, go ahead.
If we just saw Colby being Superman in a fat suit last time we saw him, what is he now 30 seasons later? Like, in a fatter suit? Like, if he couldn't do it in 20, what do we expect him to do in 50?
I agree.
If he's here, Jonny Fairplay's here, Rupert's here, Lex is here. If they're not here, why is he here?
Yeah, and I he's another one where I'm like, what do you even have to gain by being out here, dude? Like, I don't know what's there. He's not gonna win, and I don't think he's gonna be a challenge beast again. Like, what is he gonna come out and Russell Hance his way to the end and be this strategic mastermind puppet master villain? Like, of course he's not. Like,
he's a dumb Texan.
I don't know what he has to gain by being there. I don't know what CBS has to gain by casting him. Like you said, without casting a lot of the other folks that you named, like, it's a weird one to me. It feels very out of place.
The best thing he ever did was be on Curb Your Enthusiasm,
which was hilarious.
That was
so
one of my favorite episodes.
I literally talked about that yesterday, and no one knew. They were like, I did not see that. Jason Powell, Pro Wrestling Boom. And he's like, I've seen every, and I was just like, dude, he's like, holy shit, that's great. So,
yeah, it's so good.
The Survivor brunch. So.
39 days I was out there. There was no gym. Everyone trying to backstab me. Did you see our show? It was called The Holocaust.
Bring a survivor. And all these Holocaust survivors.
All right, next.
Right, next.
Jenna Lewis. I love Jenna Lewis. I have loved Jenna Lewis for a long time. One of my earliest and bestest friends ever in the history of the show. I have never I can't say enough good things about her. Jenna Lewis is Jonny Fairplay in a female suit. So if you wanted Jonny Fairplay out there, I think Jenna Lewis is going to give you Jonny Fairplay. She's rude, she's crude, she's inappropriate, she's smart, she's fun. I think one of the greatest moments in the history of the show, which really sucks, is when everyone got their video from home and she did not. And that was part of the deal that I used to create the Dead Grandma lie. So I thank Jenna for that, even though it sucks in that moment. And I'm very, very happy with Jenna Lewis being on this season.
Yeah, if you're going to go with somebody from season 1, it's hard not to pick her first or second of all the people you could go with for that. I think it's a slam dunk casting. I think she's going to be awesome. Even if she's only there for a couple episodes, it'll be an awesome couple of episodes. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on his name right now, and it's really pissing me off because I love him. Who was the blonde guy from season 1? And I'm totally blanking on his name. Chat, help me here because I'm apparently the 2 beers in and it's getting me out of shape.
There was the guy with the coconut.
Oh my god, the crazy guy with the phone with the coconut and all that.
Greg with the coconut.
Greg
and Colleen.
So if she was, because Greg was apparently in the mix for this, right? Like that was
I didn't hear that.
RHAP was going with that for a long time. That Greg was in the mix for 50. If Greg Buis didn't get cast and we got Jenna Lewis instead, I'm pissed, right? Like, I want to see Greg 50 seasons later. We only had him one time. The guy's been off the grid.
Jenna stole a spot, Bobby.
I don't think
how about Joe is off the show and we have Greg Buis?
There's been I want to see Greg Buis 2.0 50 seasons later, especially since he hasn't been back on since season 1. Like, I want someone who's only on season 1 and now only on 50. Like, I don't
That
want
would have
these
been cool.
in-betweeners.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I agree.
I don't want to see Jervis again. I don't want to see Rich again. I don't
How
want to
great
see
would
Jenna.
this have been? Jenna, we were not able to get the video from your loved ones, but we do have the video you made with your fiance.
That's pretty good.
So I became friends with Jenna Lewis during the whole sex tape that was stolen fiasco or whatever. And Jenna Lewis is like, "Hey, have you watched yet?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "I won't be mad if you do watch it. I know how you are, Fairplay." So, reality TV show video.com, like, whatever. And I'm like, okay. So anyway, so me and my friends get it. I watched. I think I may have. I'm not gonna say who I watched with, but they have another podcast network, so I'm pretty sure I watched with that person. But anyway, so the next day, Jenna Lewis is on fucking like the Today Show or Good Morning America or one of those. Like, Jenna Lewis, victim of a honeymoon tape stolen. She's like, "Yes, it was the worst thing in the world. Like, they stole from our luggage. We were in Vegas at this hotel and they stole from our luggage. And all I have to say is the people at reality sex tape video.com, and that's REAL reality sex tape.com. Those people are just horrible. I cannot believe they're putting out this video at realitysextape.com right now and exploiting me and my fiance at realitysextape.com. And I was like, holy shit, Jenna Lewis sold this shit. Are you kidding me? And yes, she indeed sold that shit. So,
Yes, we can all agree to this.
yes. So yeah, we're all in on Jenna Lewis. She's great. All right. Next.
Yeah, Jenna's great. Nothing wrong to say about her, but it should have been great.
Yeah, next.
And
Here are the notable exceptions.
Okay.
Like a Johnny's front and center.
I know, right?
I did not make this.
Didn't even get a call.
Oh, what a liar.
Do you think I have the ability to create a PDF, Gabe?
Yes, I do. Well, you got the ability to send me fucking.
I do not. I have no. I cannot make a reel. I cannot make a thumbnail. I'm literally without Bobby Goodsby.
I know.
But Bobby did not make this as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I did.
Jerri, I think we've talked about a whole lot tonight.
Jerri should have been on.
Should have been on. She should have been one of the first names on the list.
Yeah.
Bryce, I love the idea of Bryce being on there. I think, again, we've kind of already mentioned this, but if it is about celebrating Survivor, like what Survivor is in 2025 is not what it is without Bryce and Wendell. And I think Bryce is maybe the bigger mover of that. Than Wendell is. I would have put Bryce back on in a heartbeat, and he would have been great TV because it's Bryce Isaiah. Sister Nino. Go ahead.
Wait.
On Bryce, I was always a big proponent of season 50 is quote unquote legends. Season 52 needs to be, should be, without a doubt, has to be second chances. Bryce Isaiah is the first person I write for that.
That's a good shout. Yeah.
However, with a revisionist view in the past couple weeks, because I'm talking to a lot of people, I'm hearing a lot of emotions. I understand these emotions. I can't believe that this little black speck that is a heart that I have, I comprehend these emotions. But no, if season 50 is more than strategist and what you did and the greatest moments and all that, if it is really what 50 seasons of Survivor is in the Survivor universe, then yes, Bryce Isaiah should definitely be on this cast.
Agree.
I don't think that Bryce, I love Bryce as a character, as a podcaster. Seeing what he did on Cagayan, one of the best seasons, if not the best season of all time, I don't need to see him again. And I'm sorry. I know people are going to hate me for that.
Okay.
I
have you met him
as a podcaster? I don't think I need to see Bryce 2.0.
Have you met him?
I've never met him in person.
Well, when you meet him, that'll change everything. You're like, oh my god, this guy has to be on.
Yeah, like I would love to see him now as such an integrated part of the Survivor community. Like he would come at it with this whole network of people that he knows, not even in a pregame sense, but just like I know all of these people. And I think that could be fascinating to watch. And Bryce is so fun.
I think Bobby's coming from the view of the viewer that saw his gameplay not good, and has not met him. And I think there's a lot
that's fair.
Of people, and I think that's possibly casting season 50. They're like, hey, as someone that's never met him that just saw his gameplay, why are we even having this discussion?
Yeah,
but I think the people in the comments can attest. Like none of these people on the comments have probably met most of them have probably never met him in person. And I love him. I've heard him on a million podcasts. I love him as a podcaster. When I saw his gameplay, I don't need to see that again. And there was a part of me at certain times that thought
he's better than Say.
I just think there's so many other people I'd rather see than Bryce Isaiah. That's the main thing.
That's fair.
Gabe, how excited are you that Say is on this list?
Dude, I had to unfollow her on social media. I couldn't do it, dude.
You stop?
I couldn't do it. I thought I could, and I was like, dude, it's just if she was on 50, it would have been unbearable. Like, I don't even like thinking about it. It would have been so bad. They dodged a bullet. I know she was in the running for it. They dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
The next one is a big one for me.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Gabe. You wanted to start with Rob. You start with Rob.
I don't think Rob would ever say yes, even if they asked him, and I think that would be
yes for 40.
But 40, it's different. It's different now. I think.
No, I think it's the exact. He said yes for 40, which would have been Rivals. I have no idea who his Rivals.
I think if they put Sesternino on there, they would make him look like a clown, no matter what happened. They don't like what he does.
Yeah, dude, he's the only one. He's the only one left that totes the company line. We're
all in now.
Dude, they put Asia from my season on there, like with the expectation that they were gonna clown her, and the expectation, dude. I know they did.
Dude, they gave him a shout out on the fucking show, dude.
Bro, because you gave the squirrel a peanut. He's not your dad now. Like. Dude, I'm telling you, when Asia was out there after she got voted out, they had a confessional with somebody that didn't make the edit. And they said, so, like, tell us about the Asia vote. And they were like, oh, well, it was hard. I got along with her really well, blah, blah, blah. And the producer was like, so, yeah, it's a lot harder to play Survivor than it is to do a podcast about it, right? And they were like, well, I don't really think that. And, like, I'm a fan of the show, so I don't, I don't really think that. And they were like, okay, but I need you to kind of say this line for me. It's a lot harder to play Survivor than it is to podcast about it. And it didn't end up making the edit. They do not like the podcasters that are critical of the show.
Well, he's not.
I'm never getting on.
Well, yeah. I think we're all done for. But after this fucking 2 hours that we've done, we're all definitely done for.
As a guy who has worked for Rob, and I like Rob. I have nothing bad to say about Rob. The thing is, I think pre-COVID Rob would have definitely jumped at the chance to come back to Survivor. I think post-COVID Rob, with how much the podcast has bloomed because of COVID and because of other things, I think Rob doesn't go on the season unless the price is absolutely right. He's making millions with the podcast. So if you think about this, he would have to take a whole season off, not being able to talk about the show that he is on.
Exposure. Like, he's not doing it unless he wears a Rob as a podcast t-shirt.
No, but I'm talking about post game. He has the
he's wearing a bar hat t-shirt.
When it's airing, is what I'm saying, is when it's airing, he wouldn't be able to podcast about it.
I bet they would let him podcast. That would be in his contract. I do this and I get to podcast every week.
I don't think they would ever want to do that.
They wouldn't do that.
Like what both parties would need for him to go do the show, they would never meet in the middle about. That's my main point. I don't think that they would. I don't think he would have a lot to gain by going out there, and I don't think they would be comfortable with him going out and having a victory for podcasters if he went out and did really good. I don't think either party would have anything to gain from it.
I don't know.
I think he wants to do Dondi more than anything. I think he really wants to go on Deal or No Deal Island. He's expressed that before, and people in his community that are podcasters there that I'm still friends with have told me, Dondi calls, Rob is all about it.
Interesting.
All right, there we go. All right, next, Dominic. It was the Win and Dom show. Win won. I didn't love Dominic personally. I understand why people loved him, and that's great. And does he deserve a spot on 50? Probably, but I don't know who I'm taking. I mean, I'm taking off anyone from the new era, sure, but like, I mean, I'm not crying about it.
Yeah, I don't think he is the biggest miss in the world. A lot of people aren't even really talking about him not being on, like they are some other people.
Yeah.
But I think if he was on it, I would be looking forward to watching him.
Yeah.
Is where I'm at. It's like one of those things where it's like, if you're not going to give it to me, I'm not going to cry about it. But if you did give it to me, I would look forward to it.
Did you see him on the challenge though?
No.
He was terrible.
He was the entire time of the challenge. It's like all the girls from Love Island. He's like, oh my God, my wife's gonna be so worried. And I'm like, no one wants to fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're fucking old and fat. Shut up. And he was like, oh, to these Love Island girls, what's my wife thinking? I'm like, I think they think you're a fucking fart factory and your fucking socks stink, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's what they fucking think about you, Dominic, and nothing more. So yeah, he was a dud on the challenge, USA. All right.
Sure, I just broke my chair. Oh, wait, hold on one second. Dom, I love Dom. I wanted to see Dom 2.0. Dom should have 100% been cast on this, just like Devins was. Like Dom was like the person I was probably most excited to see next to Devins and Christian Hubicki, and he wasn't cast on this season. And I'm very, very mad about it. I think he should have been there, even though I agree he was a train wreck on the challenge.
Yes. All right.
All right. Next, let's get to this weirdo in the middle.
Yeah.
All right.
This has been. I mean, look, I think that if you are talking about, again, this overarching theme that we keep returning to of like this being a celebration of Survivor over the past 25 years.
The greatest moment, most recognized moment in the history of the show.
I think that, like Coach, you were one of those bridge guys. You took the show from being this kind of run and gun style reality show where they were figuring things out as they went in the middle of the jungle in whatever country they were. And I think you took it to like a different level that I don't even think Mark Burnett or Jeff Probst or anybody at CBS knew it could hit. And like, it is a moment that changed the trajectory of the show. Just like I think Coach on season 18 was a moment that changed the trajectory of what the show could be and who people on the show could be. And like, if that's what 50 is about, which is what they've told us, Jonny Fairplay should be on the show. I mean, it was one of those pivotal moments where what the show was changed. Just like Richard Hatch, when he won, like from the beginning of the conception of the show to the finale of the first season, what the show was changed. And you were one of those people that did that. And if season 50 is about what they told us it's about, Fairplay should be there. And that's not me being a company man. If you don't believe that, go listen to the roast, because I don't mind going after this guy.
Yeah.
This guy sucks. Like, there's him back. Like, I am tired of seeing this guy on my television screen. It's like Sari 2.0.
Yeah, so we're in Sesternino's contract. It would be I have to be allowed to podcast every single week and blah blah blah. Johnny would be I need my belt with me.
I have to. If I can't bring the belt, I'm not going.
It's in my contract. If it's not in my contract, I won't go.
On TV.
Johnny, if you just did one too many celebrity bull riding that they just figured, you're untouchable now. Okay, you're too big for the network.
I am. It's fine. Hey, they're once again. They got me twice, and the first one hurt a lot, and that's where Jerry's at right now, and I understand that. And the second one, it stung, but it's like, whatever. And then this one, I was just like, I don't care.
Yeah,
NBC has my number.
Well,
Fox has my number. I'm good.
It seems like you've gone through kind of like what you said, like what Jerry's going through now, and you've come out the other side of that.
Yeah.
And like I think Jerry, hopefully, ideally, will be where
Yeah.
you're at in a few weeks or months or however long it takes.
Sure. So,
And I agree, Johnny. I don't need to see you on Survivor. I would love to see you on Survivor, but I think there's
Yeah.
bigger, better shows like Traitors and Dondi at this point that you could go on. And I know the fandom might not be in the same spot. I would love to see you on Survivor, but if they're not going to call you, don't miss all these other opportunities that may come your
I'm
way.
not, and I wasn't waiting for their call. And as they
Yeah.
said, if they had said the same thing that they said to Jerri Manthey to me, and my fiance's in the room, I swear to God, she's grabbing that phone saying, fuck you, hanging up on them, and I'm not picking up the next time they call.
And while selfishly, I like Bobby, I would love to see you go play again just because it would be, it's fair play on Survivor again. It'd be awesome. I kind of like the role you're in now, where I think you're pushing this competition reality TV into like the 2020s, and I think that people like that are important, and I think it's going to hopefully make Survivor better in the long run. And even if it doesn't, we're getting all these other cool shows out of it. Like you're obviously not done in this space, and I think that role is more impactful and more meaningful of like, no, like I want to be somebody that these new shows can bring on for the name recognition and to bring audiences and eyeballs to the show, to let some of these new things pop up and flourish, like House of Villains and, like obviously you weren't on this, but like a Dondi or whatever the hell Destination Next is going to be. I think that's cool. And I think you're doing more for the community in that role than you would if you got to play Survivor one more time.
Thank you. So once again, I'm cool. Next, Davey. I love Davey. I had Davey in the Bryce spot in that I'm just like, hey, if season 52 is second chance, I think that's perfect. But in a final review of what season 50 can be encompassing, Davey is fuck you guys in casting because you dropped the ball with Davey.
Big Davey fan.
Huge Davey fan. Have you met him?
Yes, a couple times. He wears capes.
Yes. Do you love it?
My interactions have been very brief. They've always been at big watch parties. So it's always kind of, and it was all during my season. So I was always kind of getting tossed around a lot. But I think he's great. I think he's fine. I always really enjoyed my interactions with him.
He does a lot of good things for the community.
And that's what it seems like. Yeah.
And once you get a chance to talk to him, he's just like one of the best souls you've ever met.
Yeah.
So,
I just got to say, we're 2 hours and 40 minutes in. This is one of our longest podcasts ever, and you guys being on the East Coast are troopers right now.
Oh, yeah.
We're ready to end it. So
yeah.
I want to say also that we have 135 people. We have 135 people watching live. This is one of our best lives we've done ever, and the number's grown even more since Jerry left. So thank you guys. If you guys aren't a part of this community, please like and subscribe. Like I'm going to say that now while we have this many people here and we're going to continue going, please like and subscribe, leave comments, anything, because you guys are helping us with our algorithm. We need you guys to help us boost our numbers so we can give you more content like this. Like this has been such a fun show. These two are killing it. And that Jerry interview is one of the biggest interviews we've ever had.
Yeah. All right, let's rapid fire these last four here.
So Davey, yes. Bobby, where you at on Davey?
I like Davey. I would like to see Davey 2.0 since we haven't got that. So I would have been on board with Davey being here.
All right, Elizabeth Hasselbeck. So
no
innuendo. She was contacted. She said maybe they were trying to work out the money. Supposedly she has a no-fly list. All that is rumor and innuendo. We don't know if any of that's true. We don't know if they even talked. But something happened because Elizabeth Hasselbeck went on Instagram and said, I'm not on.
Wow. Yeah, this is something where it's like, I don't know. It's one of those things where if she's not on, kind of similar to Dominic, it's like, I'm not going to cry about it. If she was on, I'd be excited to see her on there. It's like, I don't really have a too strong of an opinion either way. But it would have been cool.
I think she's in the Honor Alliance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah, agreed. I think she
Where
feels
was
very
he
safe there.
January 6th?
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's getting asked. That for
I
sure.
don't need to see Elizabeth 2.0. Like I didn't care about Elizabeth in season 2. I don't care about Elizabeth now. I don't care that Elizabeth's been on The View. I really don't give a shit. I get why they want it. If they could have got Taylor Swift over Charlie, they would have picked her
Sure,
over Charlie
yeah.
in a million years. I get it. Johnny, you just need to get famous one day, like superstar famous, and you're going to be on every season going forward as Survivor, regardless of what you say about it.
I thought I was famous. We'll get there.
I mean, like, I'm talking like Taylor Swift famous, and you're golden.
Well, I'm trying to get Tyson famous. He's next. I talked to Tyson yesterday, and yeah, rumor and innuendo. Probst called Australia, said you will not do Australia versus the USA. You will change it to Australia versus the world. As a result, you can only have 4 people tops. Tyson got cut. Cochran got cut. So for everyone saying, oh my God, Cochran would never do Survivor 50, never do Survivor again. They had to get Chris as the archetype. Well, apparently he would have done Australian Survivor. So shut up, people. So with that, Tyson not happy. They contacted Australia. Another country says, hey, don't hire this guy. That's not cool. And Tyson's literally on House of Villains right now because of that.
Good.
Yeah, great for Tyson. I love the agency that he has with that move that he did to House of Villains, and I'm sure he will be on many more shows. We'll probably see him on Traders as soon as they can possibly get him on there. And Deal or No Deal Island. I don't think I needed to see Tyson again. I'm going to be honest.
On Survivor? No, I think it was good too.
I think his story is complete. He has his win, and I feel like Winners at War was like a very good bookend for Tyson's time on Survivor.
I think I agree. That was a finisher. Like that was
exactly. Seeing him out there with his family and like just the way that he played and his Edge of Extinction run and all that, like I don't think I need anything more from Tyson. I think even if he went and he dominated and he won again, it wouldn't do anything for his legacy in my book. No. I think it would be right where it is.
I think he had a great story.
So. Yeah, fantastic story.
All right.
Next.
Bobby?
Next, I agree. I think Tyson, I saw his story. I'm good with his story. I didn't need to see more. If he would have been cast, I would have been fine with it, but I didn't need it.
Yeah.
Abby Maria.
Woo!
I think Johnny's got opinions here.
Peek behind the curtain. Abby Maria, I love you. Abby Maria may have reached out to someone on Monday and said, I guess I got to watch on Wednesday to find out if I'm on 50 or not. To which that person replied, girl, if you ain't sent your clothes to 50, you ain't on 50. And she was like, you think? And they were like, yeah. So, holy moly, has this been a roller coaster ride for Abby Maria?
Yeah. I think she's somebody who would have been awesome on this season.
Yeah.
I think
why would you not put Abby Maria?
Yeah. I think she has an incomplete story on Survivor. Yeah. And I think I would have really liked to see what she would have done on a season like 50. I think I would have loved to see her talk to some of the new era people. I don't think they would have been able to keep up with her. I think they would have been all over the place. I think she would have rattled all of them. I think she would have been awesome. I think she would be awesome on any cast you put her on. And I think she still had a lot of story left to tell.
So, peek behind the curtain, folks. Production picks 2 to 4 people every season that they want to win and that they're prepared to win. They pick 2 to 4 people that they know are the first people out, and then they have filler in there. And I hate to call Abby Maria filler, but if you're worried about Abby Maria winning, she's probably not.
Yeah.
So if Abby Maria can be quote unquote filler, you're lucky motherfuckers.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the best filler people you could ever hope to have on any show.
Ever.
And she's proven that twice. Both times she's been on. She has played her role to perfection both times.
Yes. Bobby?
Abby over Aubrey, D, Tiffany all day, every day, not even close.
There we go.
The pure entertainment factor that she brings, the personality, the fiery, Brazilian, won't stop at anything to attack you, even on your way out.
Yeah.
Like, give that to me all day, every day. I don't need anything else. Anyone who says otherwise is an idiot and doesn't know reality TV. Abby is a must-have on any season of Survivor.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, speaking of idiots, Carolyn is not one, but anyone that would not cast Carolyn is the biggest idiot in the history of casting. You guys are fucking morons. This is the biggest fucking star that you created.
Yeah.
Post season 40, the new era's number one shining star above all else. Carolyn, you didn't make her. Traitors did. You're morons.
Yeah, this was a huge miss. And this is as somebody who didn't really love Carolyn when I watched her live on 44, but I also didn't love 44 as a whole. But everything that she did after her season has just been like this meteoric rise that to not want to capitalize off of that off the bat is, again, such a weird decision to me. Like, I can't imagine people sitting in a room saying, like, we don't want to work with that. Like, Jeff
literally shouted at her, telling her that he didn't want her on the show.
Well, and to not want to be like this is a weird way of putting it, but to not want to have control over Carolyn and how her image and how her story is going to be told to the masses, like that is a golden goose right there that you want to keep in-house as long as you possibly can. And to not only not do that, but to actively reject it and push it away in what seems to be a pretty aggressive manner is like, I could not make sense of that. It makes no sense to me.
Jerri Manthey, we love you. You're the number 2 miss. Carolyn's the number 1 miss.
I think Lynn Spielman doesn't give a shit what show Carolyn goes on. She's casting Carolyn 100 times out of 100 and realizes the gold that she has on her hands. And Carolyn probably would have been back for multiple seasons before this until, up into 50. Yeah. Like there's just you can't not have her.
She's gold. I mean, like there is a possibility of overexposure, but I just feel if done correctly, and she was in good hands with Survivor. She was in good hands with Traitors. She can be in good hands going back to Survivor, and whatever. Like she's fun and literally the most perfect television character in the history of reality television in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. She is complex in the best possible ways, where she's funny on the outside, but is actually very smart and has these very complex thoughts about what she's doing on whatever show she's on, that it's like there's just so many layers of her as a person and as a character to delve deep into, that if you're a producer, like how do you not want to sink your teeth into that at every possible chance you get? I don't get it.
Give me one Carolyn every season, and much like the fucking, they want 2 people to win, they want 2 people to lose. You need some filler. Carolyn's not winning, Jeff. It's okay.
Yeah,
I know you don't want to tell the Carolyn story. That's fine. Who gives a fuck? Carolyn is. If you don't think Abby Maria is the greatest filler of all time, Carolyn is literally the most greatest filler of all time.
So another one that was a big miss is Jesse. Jesse should have been on this cast 1,000%.
Yeah, I did not. Once again, I did not do this PDF, or I would have put Jesse on here. I think everyone agrees. How do we think Jesse would have done round 2?
So that's interesting to me, because I don't think Jesse is somebody who can really go and win. I don't think he is. He's somebody where, like, I agree. He probably should have been on the season. That's probably the right answer. I'm not as high on the Jesse train as a lot of people are, because he's another dude who I feel like had a very complete story told. And I feel like the only way it gets better is if he wins, which he's probably not going to do. Like, I mean, like, Bobby, like, I think you're in the majority here and probably right, but like, make the case for Jesse.
Jesse is arguably one of the best players to play in the new era strategically. Physically, he was sucked, and he'll even say it himself. He sucked at Survivor when it came to the actual challenges. Socially, mentally, strategically, one of the best, most, I think if he was in a season under 30, he wins the game, no problem, hands down, he's winning the game. I think post 30, it's a little more physical and a little less strategic to be able to get as far as they can, especially with fire making. Like all he
I think he does. I think he does better 30 through 40 than 1 through 20.
Interesting. Oh, I don't know.
Because I think he's a little smarter. I think he's the smartest of the new era, and I think he's a little smarter than most of the 30s.
Yes.
And he rides on the coattails of how he used to be able to win the game of not being that strong. Like he steals one.
You put him in a season where it's all the models, like during the 30s to early 30s and 20s, where they casted a lot of models and recruits. I think he wins going away.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think he has more trouble there versus the mix of the two. I feel like he thrives in a situation. I don't know. I love Jesse. I think, I know for a fact he worked out like every single day for like 10 months. Like or maybe
getting ready for 50.
Yeah. So physically he was ready. I think it's shit what they did because they literally told him he was on, and then they're like, hey, "Oh, by the way, you're not on." I think that's garbage. I don't know. I mean, because like I feel like Jesse's whole thing, it's kind of like me and Jerri. There's and Camilla. I think there's this preconception of you're a liar, you're a bad guy, you're a villain, you're a bitch, whatever. Jesse's a liar. And it's just, and it's like, yeah, but that's just TV. Like,
that's good TV.
It is the next 12 hours that a lot of people decide, is this guy just a fucking liar or is this guy just a fucking cool guy I want to hang out with? And I don't know that Jesse has that ability in 12 hours to tell that story.
Yeah, I agree with that.
How is your relationship, Jonny?
Gabe, you're like, I know you, I know Jesse. I love Jesse. Jesse is a great friend of mine. I love him dearly. Okay. Jesse is like, he's a little shy.
Yeah, for sure.
Gabe is trying to step into some pussy.
Always. Every day.
Every day, like
wherever it may be.
So like that's the difference where like if Gabe's got 12 hours to sell Gabe's just like, look, man, I got a shit fucking edit. Here's the deal. See that producer over there? See that camera guy? He fucking sucks. Fuck him. Best advice I can give to you: don't work with him the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thanks for the advice. Because I'm an old person. I don't know who the new camera guys that suck are. They're like, yeah, it's that motherfucker. Fuck them. And you're in.
Yeah.
Jesse's
I don't think Jesse has that. Yeah.
I don't think Jesse's doing that. Jesse's just like, hey.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh no, Jesse.
Yeah.
Like, what's the follow-up to hey? How you doing? Oh no, how you doing?
So no, I want to say this too. Mr. Beast, his crew, Carl Jacobs from his crew, and obviously we've seen Jesse on Mr. Beast. His kid at least has been on there. His kid has won one of the Mr. Beast competitions, which is kind of crazy.
How much did he win?
I think like 250,000.
Yeah, like a lot. Yeah, like 6 figures.
Like a lot of money. Like more than Jesse won on Survivor.
I think it was 500,000.
Oh, maybe it was 500,000. I watched the episode, but it's been a while, so I can't remember. It was a significant amount of money. Now, Carl Jacobs has said his favorite show on television, and he's one of the guys in Mr. Beast's crew, is his favorite show is Survivor. Because you're good with Jesse, and Jesse's good with Mr. Beast, we got to somehow work Carl Jacobs onto the podcast. That would bring record-breaking numbers.
Fuck that. Let's just make our own Survivor.
Well, yeah, I get that.
We're
But I'm
two
talking about for
island
the
wars,
podcast,
and
Johnny.
they
I'm
put
thinking
all the
about us.
people that-
Yeah, right. Yeah. Bring him onto the podcast, and we can talk about how we're gonna make our own Survivor.
Yes, exactly. That would bring in record-breaking numbers.
Dude, we're doing island wars. in
There you
quotation
go.
marks.
Oh, I like that. That would be
What-
good.
I'm telling
is
you
it
right
the best
now.
part, the quotation mark? What's the synonym for Survivor?
If
I-
we got Carl Jacobs
Make
to
it
talk about
roar.
Survivor, it's
Make
gone.
it roar. Quotation marks. With the
Outlaster.
Outlaster. Boom. The Outlaster in quotation marks.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck those motherfuckers. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
all
we
in.
could set something up. We could make a Survivor game
We need to do
with
this.
a bunch of former players.
Gabe, you should have been on 50, right?
Yeah, of course I should have been on 50.
Boom.
But,
You're
but
on
here's
Outlaster.
why I should have
You're
been on 50.
Outlaster. We're starting with season 50.
Here's why I should have been on 50 is because when I got voted out and I told Jeff I'll be back, the reason I did that is because I gave them a storyline to pick up.
We call it that.
And
We shit on that so hard on this podcast.
oh, I know you did. I watched it. And if
Who is he telling that to?
and if I were to go back, and not even 50, because I should not be on 50. I have no reason to be on
Well,
50.
what
but
about
just,
Outlander 50? And that's what we're starting with.
oh, I'll win that.
Or
You'll
Outlaster 50.
I'll wake up with idols in my pocket if I'm there as a creator.
Beating all your
yeah,
asses.
yeah, that's in my contract. I need an idol a day.
Bobby's a producer. Talk to him.
God
But-
damn it! I'm on the show.
Outlaster is the people that were not. Bobby, you were not picked for season 50.
I don't care. I'm playing.
You'll have more fun as a producer anyway.
You'll have a
dude.
lot more fun as a producer. I promise.
Being a player sucks.
I was on Rehab Sequester. God damn it. Okay, and I got to the final four.
Being a producer is the same as that. All right. So
Shall we wrap it up here?
Yeah,
Let's
so we
wrap
did
it
it. This was fucking insane. We did
Yeah.
It was
3
insane.
hours.
3 hours.
We talked Jerry talked to Jerri Manthey.
That feels like a lifetime ago. Holy shit.
Wow.
I was crying a lifetime
even
ago
know
over
his
Jerri
name.
Manthey.
Yes, and Joshua Tree.
Yeah,
Who had that on their bingo card?
I know. What a fucking crazy. Yeah. All right. This was
All right.
awesome, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This was
Yeah.
so much fun. And like Bobby said, we got some awesome numbers on this. Not that I do this for the numbers, to be honest with you. I know the guy down there does. Hello. But this is just so much fun. And I'm so happy to be a part of this little family we got here. So thank you guys.
Yes, check out Gabe's Big Move Tuesdays at
New episode on
7
Tuesday.
What is it? 7 p.m. your time, 4 p.m.
7
my time.
Yeah, yep.
So definitely check that out, guys. He does an amazing job.
2 p.m. Eastern time. Be sure to tune in right here on the Reality After Show.
Yeah.
And
I'm Jonny Fairplay.
I will have.
You know what I'm about to go do.
Okay, Jeff.
Yeah,
I
Time to let her down.
Listen, go check out Couch Critic. I will have that up this weekend. It's going to be all about this season 50 cast. I can't wait to show it to you guys. I've been working hard on it. It's going to be good. Just wait. And if you haven't checked it out, check out the roast of Matt Bishop. You guys thought this was fun? That was hilarious. We had so many fun people on that episode.
Johnny about to smash after an 8-hour podcast.
We'll leave it right there. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Thanks, everybody. I love you all. Click
Thanks,
subscribe,
guys.
comment,
Bye.
all things. Love you. Thank you. Bye.